But hi, we're live. Adventures in Lollygagging. We're playing Delta Green tonight. We are back to Impossible Landscapes after a couple weeks break for various reasons, including American holidays. If there's anyone in the channel, hello. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching. If you're checking this out later on YouTube, appreciate that as well. We are nearing the end of part 3 of a 4-part campaign. Really close. Could end tonight. More likely, it's going to be 2 weeks, but we'll see. And then, we've got part 4, which will be the finale, which will take who knows how many episodes. But it's very, very exciting. I've been going through a lot of my notes, kind of doing a review of everything as we're starting to gear up towards part 4. And there's just things I'm like, man, if I were starting again, I would do this, or I would do that, or I would do this, or I would do that. So lots of little things like that. It's very interesting. I'm really looking forward to our post-campaign breakdown, where we're gonna like kind of hop on stream for like an hour and just kind of chat about the post and like things like that. Because there's some interesting things that decision trees that have been taken. Kind of curious.
Things we furiously took notes on that really didn't actually matter.
Yeah, I have like notes of like questions we're supposed to ask Jeff, and like one's just like ask what's unfair to players. What does that mean? I didn't take notes of when that was. Players? Yeah,
I don't even know what that means. Yeah, you should definitely write those things down. Like, I don't know. We also could like kind of solicit questions from folks in the audience and stuff like that. But yeah, let's do a couple things. We got some plugs to do. We got to do our character intros, and then I'll kind of go through a summary. We've been off for a couple weeks, so I'll try to kind of stitch it all together here. But before that, let me drop some plugs. It's gonna be a very busy Saturday for most of us, but Derek on the screen, as the rest of us are in a lot of games. I'm in 3. Ashley and Melissa are in 2. Long's in 1. Gentleman's 1. And Derek doesn't want to play with us. Tomorrow afternoon, we are playing One Ring, right? I every time I say that,
correct,
we mean it, and then something usually terrible happens to somebody in our group. Yeah. And let's hope. Yeah, I agree, Justin. Derek is down. That's a quality comment right there. And that'll be the last we hear from Justin for the next 3 months.
Where am
I? Basically, that is. Tomorrow we're gonna be getting into Wondering. You're gonna catch me and Ashley and Melissa and Long as we're gonna dive into some Lord of the Rings stuff. So that should be very exciting. On Monday, we're going to be back to Ultraviolet Grasslands, so you can come check that out. We just played last week. We played Let Us In by the same guy, Luca Reyes, who does UVG. People really seem to like it. We really liked it, so at least I did. I really don't care what the rest of them think. Come check out UVG as well. And then next Thursday, we are back to our Viscid game, our Delta Green Viscid game on Garblag Games. Melissa is ruining that game as an audience member. We were going to get into a crazy shootout on a street in a highway in Montana, but Melissa said no, you're not going to do that.
Rescue.
Yep, not very cool at all. Ashley, you're playing another game tomorrow. What's that game? Do you remember?
I am playing The Darkest House.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yes.
Monty Cook Games.
Go to find it. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll be over on Defenders of Cobalt tomorrow night. So that should be 9 p.m. Central, like usual. So you can catch that there. We're playing like 20 somethings, 30 somethings. I can't remember our exact age. But we're kind of it's sort of like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you think about Stephen King's It, like it's like a kind of half young person. Like we started as friends and we were kids, and now we're adults.
Time skip. Yeah.
And now it's like this massive like haunted house thing that's going on.
Yeah, we got drop kicked right into it. So
yeah, our friend Steven the DM is he's a jerk. He's just not a very good person. Is what he is.
I feel like this is like retribution for your guys' Shadowrun game.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be. He's just not a good person, and no one should like him. That's really what it is. Melissa, you are also playing another game tomorrow. What is that game?
So we're going to be on Defenders a little bit earlier in the day. We're playing Forbidden Lands. So we've got a Defenders sandwich.
That is true. Forbidden Lands Free
Don't
League.
let Chuck hear you say that.
Literally trying. I know. Like, there's gonna be something about feet, and I don't know what. I want to know. I'm trying to type out a message in the chat. I'm thinking, okay, Melissa will probably talk for more than 3 seconds. Nope. 3 seconds. It's how long I got to type. Ashley gave me like a half an hour. It's great. Okay. Shall we do a quick intro of characters, and I'll dive into the summary, and then we'll get going, right? So let's. So Ashley, refresh our memory on Chelsea, who Chelsea is, stuff like that.
So I'm playing Agent Chelsea. She was an intelligence analysis way back in the day, before she got basically like let go of the FBI for being really inappropriate with her work credentials. And then she got a job like cleaning up crime scenes. She died. Derek stabbed her. And yeah, it's just been a real wild ride.
And it was Derek, too. It was a very weird, never-ending story moment where the outer story, us as players, were infused into the fictional story. So it was very cool. It was a very interesting moment. I didn't think Delta was going to get all meta, but that's what happened. Speaking of dying, Long, tell us about Vessel.
Yeah, I'm playing Vessel. Got gunned down in a chase scene last session. And
yeah,
he was an ex-FBI agent. Decided to retire, settle down with a bar, but he's still stuck in this Delta Green business.
Do you remember the last thing we saw of Vessel in the previous episode? Do you remember?
Yeah, he was actually at the Hotel Broadband before the other agents arrived. So it appears I've been there.
That is true. I sent you some notes, some fake notes. Added some little tweaks to your character sheet, and all will be revealed in time, I suppose, right? Let's go to the bottom row. We got Derek, who likes to stab Ashley. So Derek, tell us about your character.
Yep. So my character is currently the most sane character in the group. His name is Agent Album. He is a conspiracy theorist. That's how far we've fallen. He used to be an astrophysicist who worked for NASA, but quickly lost that job after he was suspected of being involved with terrorist activity that was never proven. So now he's just a freelancer in, the realm of the hard sciences. He's good at physics, pretty decent at chemistry, also decent with computers, microelectronics, all that stuff. Keeps off the grid because, conspiracies. And that's been him lately.
Well, don't worry. You guys are pretty damn well off the grid now. So you're going to love it here. Just going to love it here, Album. And finally, we've got Fawn. Tell us about Fawn, Melissa.
So Fawn is the historian, archaeologist of the group. She works for the National Park Service, did and continues to work for the National Park Service. I was super excited to look back at my notes and see that I got 12 whole sand back.
Yeah.
On arriving at our current location in our last episode. So
that is true.
All the way back up to 21.
Some replenishing for some of the people on the screen for arriving at the Hotel Broadband. Others, not so much, dealing with other issues.
Still at 8 hit points and 2 WP, but
yeah, that willpower stuff is going to be rough.
I can't sleep. Just can't sleep.
I know. You really need to get into abusing sleeping pills and or booze, and I feel like Delta Green encourages that. I feel like that actually is supported by the game. So yeah. All right, let's dive into the actual summary at this point now. So I'm not going to do the full thing. There's just too much. There's just so freaking much. But let's just sort of frame this around Broadband a little bit and kind of tap into every little piece along the way. This is a very important little mini chapter here. We're still technically within chapter 3. So you've all had, over the years between 95 and now, you've had hints of a place called the Hotel Broadband, like going back to 95. And you have finally found your way here. Or maybe you didn't find your way here. Maybe you were led here. Maybe you were corralled here. Possibly. By whom? For what reason? Was it the King in Yellow? Was it some other strange person who you spoke to on a phone that was in a somewhat underwater hotel room? Who knows? Who knows? But all of this started back in 1995 in the McAllister Building in New York City with a missing artist by the name of Abigail Wright. But the lasting effects of that experience have remained, and all four of the characters that they're depicting have some kind of lasting impact. Vessel sketched the yellow sign into a United Airlines flight that was going over Chicago, and Fawn lost her sister in a bizarre indie film that aired in Chicago. Chelsea, you've been haunted by a marionette copy of yourself for quite some time after spending a significant amount of time reading the play in a Virginia hotel. Album basically lost his brother to obsession, and after kind of trying to bring him into the investigation to look into some epoxy back in 95, and also has been, like, as Derek said, kind of haunted by, the destruction of these 1.5 buildings that have kind of forced him underground to some degree over the past 20 years. Now, all of this continued in 2015 with a birthday invitation from a man named Agent Exeter / Elias Barbus / the Demon Marbus, who knows, seemingly co-opted by other forces. And this reunited all together. All of you are kind of reunited as investigators into missing patients at the Boston Dorchester House, which is a mental health facility. And it was somehow connected to Abigail Wright, who has gone away, right? Gone across the sea. There was a message about Abigail Wright once more. But everything kind of, like, all of existence, everything you knew about everything kind of was upended as suddenly you all were the patients. You all were those within the mental asylum. Or were you? Kind of unclear at this point. You got expunged from the mental hospital after a strange deal with someone named Bale, who may or may not be the nexus of known demonology within human society. And also someone by the name of Mr. Wilde, who is some kind of manipulator, mover and shaker, and repairer of reputations. You guys got out of the world via drinking the blood of a giant clown, maybe? Who knows? But back in the world, Boston suddenly started growing smaller in a way as all, like, the attention of media and various law enforcement officials started turning your way. Authorities were amassing. All of you began having these unnatural visions and experiences. Vessel, you started seeing the world as puppets, people getting just yanked up into the sky, disappearing. Fawn, you received sort of peculiar, timely gifts, things like secret Delta Green documents that there was no possible way you would have been able to get, playbills of obscure plays that may or may not have been related to the King in Yellow. Album has been noticing secret messages and people disappearing into passageways that make no sense. Chelsea, you've defied death itself, apparently, and you've been hearing orders from someone that seems to kind of stitch together all sorts of weird little events over the histories. So with all this in mind, with, like, all of these different forces coming in, sort of herding you around, you all kind of huddled together within a haunted, missing room, unknown to mundane forces, room 616 of the Boxer Hotel. And while in there, you requested aid from the King in Yellow. Or was it the King in Yellow? We don't know. And so he provided. Or maybe he didn't. Who knows? As shotgun-wielding figures started harassing you, and you saw corpses of known associates hidden beneath these gas masks, specifically David Langford, a cable man that you met in 1995. They all seem to kind of herd you through space, like different locations. You started in Boston, then you somehow made it into a mall that didn't make sense, and then at some point you were on like a movie theater stage or a play stage that had vague recollections of things that you've read about, like at different points in time. And also New York City in the 50s. At a certain point, Vessel was ripped apart by one of these shotgun-wielding psychopaths because he lingered too long behind. But eventually everyone made it to Hotel Broadalbin, almost getting chased, it seemed, by like these other cops from the 50s. There's these protective gargoyles that were looming, and you just plunged through the streets. only for the three of you to find as you stood right through the doors of the lobby. There was Agent Vessel waiting for you in the lobby with blood kind of covering him. And that's where we're going to pick up. We are in the lobby of the Hotel Broadalbin. You hear the vague sounds of sort of really light lounge music here and there. You see people moving about every which way. Behind you, you can see the doors that lead out of the hotel. You can see that they're in this wide, battered mahogany. You can see this painted and peeling gold letter B that's etched on these glass windows and the doors. There's a revolving door at the center, and then there's two normal doors on either side, but the revolving door seems to be out of order. There's this hand-painted sign of a man that's kind of blushing with this kind of little dialogue bubble that says, "Pardon our paint." And you're standing in the lobby. You're looking around. There's gold trim, scalloped and peeling wallpapers. Everything has kind of a Victorian feel to it. You see these pocked and wooden banisters, frayed and thinning rugs that seems to be situated haphazardly around the entire area, as if trying to cover flaws in the floor. And there is Vessel standing in the middle of the hallway. You look off to the left. It's the front desk. A man that seems almost ageless, maybe 20s, 30s, it's hard to tell. Is kind of working the desk behind. Through the doors leading back out, you can see what looks like New York. But you no longer see the strange 1955 vehicles and the people dressed in three-piece suits and dresses and things like that. No, it just seems like New York 2015. You see vehicles that have been built within the last couple of years just drive by on the streets. Right outside the door, you kind of have this vague look at what looks like a bellhop or a valet in some kind of strange-looking red outfit. You can see there's a fairly large winding staircase that seems to flank an elevator on the other side of the lobby. Looks like there's a dining room across the lobby from the front desk, and you can see there's residents all throughout, just sitting around, reading books, papers, smoking, drinking, some of them eating snacks. But then there's Vessel, right there. What do you
Which
guys
of
do?
us?
I was asking if I noticed them or they noticed me first.
Yeah, you guys are standing right next to each other, right there in the middle of the lobby. What are you gonna say, Derek?
Which of us saw Vessel go down and die?
Let's see. I think it was okay. So Chelsea, you're the only one.
I think I definitely knew it because I shut the door.
Okay.
Okay,
Spawn was
so
facing
then
me.
Okay.
Album, well, I mean, since we just got done running, Album's out of breath, and so he's just gonna look at Vessel and say, "How the hell did you get ahead of us?"
Chelsea's, you're gonna she kind of like pinches her arm, and she like also pinches Fawn's arm because.
Ow! What?
We're not. This isn't another one of those weird freaky dreams.
Oh, probably.
Where like a window appears, like when you're sleeping.
I don't see one, but he was behind us last I saw.
He was dead.
What do you mean dead?
He got shot.
Guys,
You
I
do
can hear
see-
everything you're saying. I'm right here.
And you do have blood on you.
Are you in pain? You got.
Does it look like I am? No, I feel fine.
Did you? So you didn't get shot? I knew this Chelsea wasn't trustable. Chelsea.
Really?
No, but it looks like you guys finally made it.
What do you mean?
Album see it though?
Finally?
I don't know if Album saw it or not. I think
I
think
can't
Album
remember.
I think Album shouted back to them and then ran into the throng that was in the
Yeah.
mall. He was the first one into the mall, and I think that was
Yeah.
before Vessel got shot. I think Fawn was running, but her back was turned to Vessel. I think the only person who actually saw Vessel get shot was Chelsea.
Me. Yeah.
None of you actually went up and obviously checked his pulse or anything like that, so you don't know. But you did see him, and it was at a distance. You saw him get shot, and get kind of the thrown back from the force of the shotgun and thrown down. I mean, you're confident, Chelsea, that he got shot, and unlikely. He might, maybe he had body armor on or something, but like, you're instinctively, that was probably a fatal shot.
Yeah, I'm the only other who's FBI, so.
So we're in the middle of a hallway, right?
You are in the lobby.
The lobby.
Right. So Fawn's gonna look for a corner and just try to like herd everybody into like a corner while we're having this conversation. Like,
Yeah, you find a corner like away from the front desk a little bit, away from what looks like some of these little lounge spots where people are sitting and eating and drinking newspapers here and there, reading newspapers, drinking and eating other things. You're a little bit away from the dining room. You're kind of opposite from the lobby desk. You can see there's a couple people in the lobby. It's right there, but you're not inside, so you don't think the air, sounds traveling in. And as you get close to the wall, Fawn, something kind of catches your eye about the wallpaper. As you're fairly close now, and you notice this repeating motif in the wallpaper that's peeling here and there, especially up towards the molding and down towards the baseboards. You see this motif of tiny, repeating child clowns that are cavorting, towing a sinuous dragon behind them on what appears to be a string. Thank you for those bits, Too Old to Twitch. Hey, Arberlin, how's it going?
So Fawn's gonna make note of it, and then sort of turn back to Vessel. What do you mean finally?
I haven't seen you guys in a while. I didn't think you were going to make it.
How long do you think you've been here?
I don't exactly know. I just know it's been a while.
Like, were you in a room and you meandered down the hall, or like?
I've got a room couple upstairs, floors up. Yeah.
You were here long enough to check into a room?
What
else are you gonna do here?
What's your room number?
42 what?
604.
Okay, 604.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Fawn is going to be like fairly presumptuous, and because you said that Vessel is bloody.
I'm what?
So
yeah, he's clearly got blood on him. Yeah.
Okay, so you've got blood on your clothes. So I'm just gonna like walk around you and see if I see like gunshot holes in Vessel's clothes.
Sure. What's your search?
Oh, not great, but I just finally got up to 49.
Or medicine, anything like that you think would apply. I'll take anything. Anything that you think.
Worse.
You don't have
I
to roll it.
Nice.
You just had to tell. You rolled stealth.
Oh, sorry. Search is even worse, but that would.
I just want the number. What's the number for search?
39.
That's fine. 39's okay. I'll take 39. That's close enough. You do not see any signs of shotgun wounds whatsoever.
Not even
really
like
see
mine.
Mm-mm.
They were like healed over.
You don't see anything like that. His clothes seem to be intact. He just has blood on him. Maybe he was. I'm not sure exactly where it's from. It doesn't look like fully dried. It definitely looks like something happened relatively recently. But you don't see it. Like his clothes aren't torn up. His complexion looks fine. Doesn't look like he's pale, like he's been losing blood or anything like that. He doesn't. No, he looks fine.
Same clothes that we saw him wearing, though.
Vessel, roll a luck test.
Success.
No, a little different. Looks like he's kind of changed, but you've seen him in this kind of dress before. It just looks like Vessel clothing. Semi-professional, semi-cash.
You've been here long enough to change your clothes. You were behind us. We were running. You're here. You've checked into a room. You've changed your freaking clothes and wandered down into the lobby to wait for us to get here.
I don't know what you guys were into, but I've been here.
Did you forget the part where I said he died?
Well, I died? No, I don't think so. Murdered.
What's the last thing that you remember?
Meeting you guys in the lobby.
Before that?
Waking up this morning, coming downstairs, spending the token at the dining room, getting something to eat.
Yeah, I've just been here, just hanging out.
What's the year date again, Vessel?
As far as you know, it's 2015. Yeah, 2015. As far as you know.
Okay.
Fawn's gonna unceremoniously go over to somebody in the lobby that's reading the newspaper and just sort of like stick her face on the backside of the newspaper and look for a date.
Yeah, it looks like 1933. And as you get up there, you hear a familiar voice. As you hear, beg your pardon there, little lady. What do you think you're doing there? As the newspaper kind of comes down and you see cigar, tucked right into the side of his mouth is Mark Rourke, whom you met in 1995 in the night floors in the McAllister building. Can I help you? Plenty of newspapers over there. You're welcome to them, but it's a bit engrossed.
Checking the date. And I'm just going to look at him to see if he recognizes me.
Doesn't appear that he has any immediate recognition of you, but you also know that he was like some weird spotty recognition in Night Floors. He seemed to recognize, I think, one or two of you, but then he seemed to forget, and then he couldn't quite place who everybody was. So you know that his memory and recognition of people is a little spotty to begin with, but immediately, no, he doesn't seem to have any. He just keeps calling you little lady. Very sexist tone.
Sure. I'll keep pushing and say, Castaigne's still upstairs?
Castaigne, well, I think I saw him in the dining room the other day, maybe.
Good to know. Do you know what room he's in?
No, I mean, Elmer, he probably knows, but I don't know if he's going to tell you. But and he points, when he says Elmer, he points over towards the front desk, the lobby. Yeah.
Sorry there, Mr. Rourke. Sorry to bother you.
Oh, nope. How'd you know my name?
We've met before.
I think I'd remember a face like yours.
I think I'd remember a face like yours, and I did.
Where we meet? Where did we meet? You seem to have me at a disadvantage here.
There's a room quite like this, and you gave me directions to see Castaigne for the first time.
Did I now?
It's very helpful.
Well, I am a gentleman. I am a gentleman indeed.
Always appreciate your assistance.
Well, that's nice. That's nice. Hey, if you feel like getting reacquainted, you just let me know. I still got one of my tokens. Mosey on over to the dining hall. Have ourselves a bite. Catch up on old times.
Might just need to take you up on that. Thank you again, sir.
All right, then. And he kind of holds up a little glass, and he takes a swig, puts it down, grabs his newspaper, and pulls it back up to his face.
So wide-eyed Fawn is going to go back over to the group, making sure that they all saw.
If anyone was watching, yeah, you recognize him.
Taking on liking to Mark. Yeah. It's a charming guy.
So the newspaper that he's reading, 1933, and Castaigne somewhere around the building had some food recently in the dining hall.
Well, I mean, that checks out. We were running through a bunch of realities. I don't know. We're running through a bunch of doors that led to different places, so I would think it's safe to say we're not in Kansas anymore.
So Jeff, I just want to be clear. When we got in here, when we looked outside, the outside appeared to be current vehicles, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you look out there right now, you see what looks like, you see like a 2014 Honda Civic. You see people walking around. Okay. They got t-shirts on. Looks like people are listening to iPods and whatnot.
I think you mean the Zune.
I don't know. I really don't remember 2015 all that much. I don't know where I was. I think I was just working a lot. I was working towards tenure. It was a busy year.
Can I invade someone else's personal space and look at someone else's newspaper?
Yeah, you go on over. It's a different year, but it's not 2015.
Is it
1950s?
Also...
Do we recognize anybody else in this room?
Roll a luck test.
Four.
You look off into the corner, and you see a woman, who looks familiar to you. Not because you've ever met her, but I would say specifically Chelsea and Fawn would recognize her from a book cover, or at least I would say a book jacket. It looks a lot like Emmeline Fitzroy. Kind of pale, young woman, black hair kind of tangling down. She has on what you probably would only describe as a nightgown, but she is kind of comfortably lounging with her feet kind of brought up on what looks like a chaise lounge, and she's just reading. It looks like reading a book of some kind, kind of keeping to herself in the corner.
As I quickly try and check my notes for Emmeline.
So that was the author of A World Without Doors, which was published on her 12th birthday. She lived until 1950.
That is correct.
Yeah. And so how old does she look now?
You would definitely not a young teenager.
Okay.
Older than that, adult.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hard. She looks young though.
Okay, and we know that she supposedly got to Carcosa through drowning or something, right?
Know that? No, I don't think that's something you know.
I have notes something about dreams, escape, phantom takes over. Something about free dance.
I think you might be writing the plot of the book down that she wrote about.
Okay.
Maybe. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you have a major biography of her, no.
Melissa Fawn did look it up of her biography at one point.
Yeah, I mean that's certainly possible, but that's definitely not what her biography is. So, I'll give you that. In terms of a bio, you would know she was born 1924 in May. She was born in Chicago in the Bellaflor House, which you know to be Assa Darabandi building. 1936, she wrote A World Without Doors, as you mentioned, and she vanished in 1950 at the age of 26 inside that Bellaflor house, and she left a suicide note. But that's the extent of the biographical information that you have of her.
Okay, pause. So, reading the Clockwork Child poem. So, we need to find JC Lynn's at Hotel Broadalbin. We're here, right? We found the hotel. We need to find the labyrinth. Emmeline is an author, but it does say specify his bottle. So we got shit to do.
Album and Vessel, what are you doing throughout all this?
What era of time do I recognize the decor, furnishings, and just general construction of this
Victorian.
Hotel? So like 1800s.
He's got like in the late 1800s, early 1900s kind of feel to it, kind of vibe.
And the first reported copy, or the first reported time of the yellow, or of the play, was in the 1880s, right?
That was the French stuff, yeah. So there in the French investigative file that you have, I'm no longer trying to pronounce it, but yeah, there was a reported incident in the 1880s. You also know that the Darabondi family harkens back to Paris, and they kind of emigrated over into the U.S. around that time as well. Asa, and you know that there was kind of stuff between Asa and his mother and his aunt and stuff like that, but you know that as well.
Okay.
So, Fawn wants to go over to. Sorry, it's Emmeline?
Emmeline Fitzroy.
Okay. Yeah, Fawn wants to go over to Emmeline.
Okay. Vessel and Album, is there anything you wanted to do before I give another scene to Fawn?
Just let them know. You guys should get checked in. It'll be here a while. Not sure why you're here, but should catch me up on it.
Do you know what floor JC Lynn's is on?
No, you should ask her.
It would be lovely if you could introduce us.
She might be around somewhere.
JC's a guy.
He.
Yeah.
Album's gonna go up to the I guess front desk individual.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you walk up and you can, when you take a look at him, he's kind of small, not particularly tall. He's got this weird blend between like looking like a teenager and looking like a senior at the same time. Like he looks young and skin's clear, but also his face has like kind of this old quality to it. But when you walk up, he says, "Checking in, are we?"
Actually, I just had a couple of questions. Are there any local events going on today? What day is it? I woke up late and my head's all a mess.
Yeah, he spouts off a date that's roughly somewhere in the 1950s. Does not line up with your perception of time.
Okay. And then he'll say, I was supposed to meet my friend. So Chelsea said aloud that we had to meet JC, right? Or was that meta?
That was meta, but I actually asked him, you were standing with me when I asked him if he could introduce us to JC.
Okay, so then Album, just wanting to get to the heart of the matter, will just say, I was supposed to meet my friend JC for, what time of day is it? Lunch time, breakfast, whatever time of day it is. Album's just going to say, I was supposed to meet them for meal time, but I seem to have missed them. And I was just wondering if what room are they in so I can see if they're waiting for me there.
Well, I'm not accustomed to giving out information about our residents here when to strangers and such. If you're just a random person coming off the street looking for information about the people who are within the walls here, I gotta tell you,
it's not a problem. My friend over there, and he'll point to a vessel over his shoulder, is staying in room 604, and we need to check in as well, but I'm just behind schedule, and I'm just going to take care of that after.
Checking in, are we? What's your name, sir?
And he'll just say Album.
Album. No Album here. You wouldn't happen to be a Benjamin Lancet, will you?
Sure, if that's what you need.
Yeah, we've got you down. We've been expecting you. Excellent. We've got you in room, looks like 605. Yeah, 1 second. And he kind of turns around, grabs a key off the wall. He starts writing out some slips here and there. And he's like, all right, now, Well, Mr. Lancet, it's wonderful meeting you. We've been expecting you for some time. Happy to have you within the hotel. If you want to go ahead and take this here key, and move on over there to the elevator. Go ahead and get Charlie to take you on up to your floor.
Sure thing. But real quick, can I get JC's room number so I can stop by and check in with them?
I hate to tell you, there's no JC here. Oh, they've been not here at all.
What about anyone with the last name Linz?
Oh, no, they haven't been here for quite some time.
Okay. Alm will just look to Chelsea, shrug, remember that she's not real, glare at her, shake his head, and then walk over to Charlie.
Okay, so yeah, it's like, so he pointed to the elevator. There's like an elevator attendant, and when he said that, that's where he kind of was pointing in that direction. What's everybody else doing?
Chelsea will also check in.
Okay. Madam, who was the reservation's name for?
Rhodes?
Rhodes. Kind of starts going through a bit. Since here, Rhodes. Is that an R-O-A-D-S? How do you spell that?
R-H? O-D-E-S?
Oh, here we go. Yeah. Excellent. Yes. We've had this reservation for quite a while now. Very excited. Excellent. Got to go to room 606.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes. You can take your luggage and you can head on over to the elevator, and our good man over there will get you right up to your room. Get comfortable. Come down. Oh, also, sir, and he's calling out to you, Album. Also, I'm sorry, sir, I forgot to give you these. And he hands over like these 2 tokens and gives 2 tokens to Chelsea as well. If you're hungry, you can go ahead and give those over into the dining room there and get yourself something to eat. Every morning, come back, get 2 more. Deluxe rooms, always get 2. Both of you have got those deluxe rooms now.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
What does the token look like?
It just almost looks like an arcade gaming chip. There's nothing particularly overwhelming. You do see there's like the kind of the Art Deco-y B, so it has like the brothel bin symbol on it, but that's about it. I know what Fawn's doing. Vessel, what are you doing?
I'll head up to the rooms if they're going up as well. Check them out.
Okay, so yeah, the 3 of you get over, and Fawn, you head over to Emmeline Fitzroy, and you can see she's just reading a book. And she kind of, every now and then she reaches over and she gets a glass of, it might be wine, it might be brandy, you're not sure, and she takes a sip and put it back, and then she looks up as you're just kind of there. But hello, darling. What can I do for you?
Yes, Miss Fitzroy. It's so nice, so lovely to meet you.
It's not very often I meet a fan. What's your name, dear?
My name's Fawn.
Oh, Fawn. A very peculiar name. Miss Fitzroy is not necessary. Emmeline's fine. Are you staying at the hotel?
Likely.
Likely. Still
Haven't
reconnoitering. Well, you might want to do that. They get a little upset around here if you're poking and prodding the guests when you're not on the resident list.
Oh, I see. Well, I'll make sure I take care of that right away.
Well, good luck to you. I'm sure Elmer can take care of you just fine.
Yeah, I've heard his name a couple times. He seems to be very handy. I just wanted to say that was a fantastic book.
Oh, you've read it. And holds it up. Looks like it's some kind of H.G. Wells book.
Oh no!
Have you read it now?
Not that book. Your book, the one that you published.
Oh, you've read my work. Yes. That little thing. Inspiration found me, I suppose you could say.
And so young, too. That's quite a gift.
Well, Some might say a gift, some might say a curse. You published that young. Expectations through the roof, a second and a third.
And trying to find a way to pose this question, and I'm trying to I'm sorry, I sort of lost track. I mean, you're still only in your late 20s now?
Well, that's decidedly impolite, Miss Fawn, to be asking a young lady about her age. Even lady to lady, that is very, very improper.
Just only to say, I mean, me being on the later side of years, you still on the young side. You still have many years ahead of you.
Age, time, these are but constructs of the human mind. You are only as young as you feel. How do you feel, Fawn?
I feel about 57. How about you?
I do not feel a number. I feel relaxed, at ease, content. My place in the world. Others around here hustling, bustling, looking for this or that. Some arrive like yourselves, lost. No, I quite like it here. Crossroads, so to speak.
So if I may be so bold, I'm assuming that in the outside, do other folks believe that you have gone missing when you are in here?
I can't for the life of me tell you what other people outside the walls think. I'm not a mind reader. None of us are.
But if someone is in here, do they appear to have gone away from the rest of the world out there?
Are you all right, Miss Fawn? You seem... have you been out in the sun too much today?
I don't think I've seen enough sun recently, actually, now that I think about it.
Are you one of those folks here looking for your soul bottle, whatever it is they're calling it these days?
We are looking for a bottle, in fact.
Oh, a bottle. Well, if there's not a particular kind you want, there's plenty of vintages over in the dining room if you have enough tokens saved. If you want anything else, you can always ask Elmer, but he is very much a man who, well, scratch my back, I scratch yours type of fella.
Oh, just what's the running rate for a bottle? How many tokens?
Well, again, depends on the vintage. I'm sure you can get glassed quite easily for one. If you want a halfway decent beverage, you're going to have to save up a week's worth. But again, do a favor for Elmer. Maybe he gets you something a little extra. But you want to be careful how many favors you offer that man.
Indeed. Well, I will leave you to it, and I'll just sort of drop, and my handwriting's bad, so I don't remember, but I'll just drop like a line from the book, just to show that like I really did read the book.
Ah, well, thank you very much. Not exactly my favorite passage, but, you know, if it spoke to you, then I am happy to hear. Okay. So the other three, you guys all pop into the elevator, leaving Fawn alone in the lobby.
Thanks, guys.
So yeah, the three of you hop on. It's an old elevator, like ancient, Victorian, rickety. You can see it's held together by like spot welds here and there of these metal clasps that have been painted black to match the iron itself. You even have these like hidden, like these sections of hidden rope here and there. But as it closes, as the operator there kind of closes it up, you can hear like the clattering and clacking. Almost has Vessel like this, and Chelsea has that almost marionette type clickety clack sound kind of going on in the back of your head. As you start moving up, you can see that the lobby is definitely visible through this iron cage, even while in motion. You can see that there's a big lever, and it's There's no floors anywhere. You don't see any floor markings anywhere in the elevator whatsoever. The lever is like this gold handle that you can see that the operator is moving it with some level of deftness, and it seems to kind of increase the speed. But it only seems to have like an up and down. And he just, when you look over, he's this ancient-looking man. He's got this oversized bellhop outfit that seems to pull at his ankles, dangles below his wrists, just a little bit too big. But despite that, despite kind of his age, he tends to sort of work with some deftness and precision. You ask, when you pop on, you tell him your floors, and you can see he like kind of internalizes that, and then he goes right over to the lever, and he seems to know exactly what to do.
So what are you guys here for?
What do you mean?
What brought you here?
You.
I didn't bring you here.
I mean, you being here.
What are both of you on? We both had to come here because the only way out is through.
I mean, that too, but... Yeah.
Never mind.
Anyways.
Album is just gonna sulk in the corner. You're both not real.
What have you been doing here, Vessel, while you've been staying here?
I've been looking for things, just like the others. A bottle,
Oh?
you would say.
What you two?
I mean, what else are you gonna come here for?
Have you found your bottle?
If I did, I don't think I'd be here.
Do you leave when you find it?
I have no idea.
Okay. Mr. Charlie, sir?
Oh, you're talking to me? Oh.
Yes.
Well, hello.
How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
Doing all right.
Oh.
Could I ask you some questions?
Oh, I'd be delighted, yes. Sure. No one really talks to old Charlie.
That's terrible.
Charlie just drives the cage, they say. They don't really talk to me at all. But I'd be happy to answer some questions.
Yeah. What do you know about soul bottles?
Oh, well, I know a lot of people want them, that's for sure. Yeah.
Has anybody found them before?
Oh, I'm sure they have. As your friend says, though, you don't really see those folks here anymore.
Oh. What about...
I'm sure I could ask questions. I know all sorts of people.
Do you?
Sure. Be happy to.
Have you come across J.C. Lynn's?
Oh, that name sounds familiar.
And she just kind of like looks at Album like...
Do they go by any other name?
Do they go by any other name? Not that I know of, no. It's been some time since I've seen him, but he was through here, yeah.
Did he mention looking for his bottle?
Oh, not that I recall. I can ask around for you.
Sure thing. What do people do here who aren't looking for a bottle?
Oh, you know, people around here do jobs like me and others, and some people read, mingle, dance in the ballroom. Most like to go down to the basements, you know. Usually bring all sorts of things, but they're looking for the bottles, you know.
Gotcha. What about...
Heard there's a maze down there.
Really?
Never seen it for myself.
Can you take us there later?
Oh, well, later. Maybe, we'll see. You all should come over for dinner. Maybe I'll ask around about this old J.C. Lynn's fella. Maybe old Charlie will find a piece of information or two.
What about Abigail Wright? What floor is she staying here?
Oh, I haven't heard that name in a while, but no, I don't think she's here. Charlie Has a mind like an iron trap, knows where all the people are and all the floors are, all sorts of things. Elmer, too. What? No, can't say Abigail's here.
Gotcha. Okay.
Does this hotel have a room 616?
Oh, I'm sure we do.
Yeah, I'd love to join you for dinner later. If you could tell me more about this maze.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I'll go and I'll ask around about these JC Lynns, and I'll get some information for you. Sure, Charlie will. Charlie's very reliable.
You definitely are. Thank you.
Certainly, lass. And you hear as the elevator comes to like a screeching halt. Well, 6th floor.
We'll see you later.
Mind your hands and feet getting off.
Thank you again, Charlie. We'll see you for dinner.
Oh, I am very excited.
And
I don't get company very often in my room. I'm very excited. You all get settled in. Get comfortable.
Yeah. Which room should we meet you at?
Oh, I'm just down in the basements.
Okay.
Ask Elmer. He'll know where my apartment's.
All right. Thank you, Charlie.
You're welcome. You're welcome, dear. Bye, gentlemen. And starts closing the gate back up. You hear grinds and starts clicking down to halt. We'll kick back to Fawn. Fawn, what do you want to do?
I guess she'll see that everybody else checked in, so she'll do another scan of the lobby just to see if there's anybody else that looks familiar. Make sure that the outside still looks current.
Roll a luck test. Yeah, outside still looks current though. Yeah.
Of course it does. 23 under 50 for the luck roll.
Sure. Yeah, you do in fact notice somebody who looks vaguely familiar as well. Not a person that you think you've met, but you see kind of wandering off and then going like right across the lobby, right in front of you, and then just disappears into the dining room. You see a kind of a fairly heavy-set man in a silver robe. He's got this plain white mask tucked in the crook of his arm, and he just kind of disappears into the dining room. And you think back to some of the pictures you've seen when you were researching the McAllister building, and you think, that looks like Henry Lundeen.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'll just sort of go a little bit closer and just say, "Oh, Mr. Lundeen," as he's walking away.
And you see him kind of whip around as he's in the dining room, and he looks back. Do I know you?
You don't know me, but I know of you.
Do you now? Well, how do you know? Don't leave a man hanging. Come on inside. Sit down. What do you know of me?
I've been doing some research into a few different families and houses and occurrences, and your name has come up quite frequently.
Has it now, Lundeen? We are a wealthy, powerful family indeed.
You paid for a particular house to be built in New York City.
Ah, architecture fan, are ya? Okay. I see your game, your angle. Indeed. Yeah, Mr. Darabandi, did a fine job on the Lundeen home. Lovely house.
You were inspired by the idea of a thought house.
Oh, whatever they call him. Something like that. Thought house. I think that sounds about right. Special place for special people. People of a special purpose.
Was there a particular purpose for that house?
Oh, here and there.
I've actually spent some time in that house.
Oh, have you now? You spent time in my house, have you? Have you worked there? We did have servants for a while, but you don't look that familiar.
Visiting.
Visiting?
It was a brief stay.
I got to tell you, I don't remember you at all.
As you said, I'm sure you've had a lot of folks in and out. I mean, all of the floors in that home. I mean, you could lose some folks in there. Especially
this house led me here. Very special place. And I have a very important meeting to get to, of course.
Is that so? This seemed like a place to come for other pursuits, not boring things like meetings.
I can't speak to why everybody else is here, but I'm here to meet with the king. Indeed, I am. Found it all. My house, late at night, wandering around. Every bit of money I put into that Darabonte fella, young Asa, was money well spent, I'll tell you. I hear all sorts of strange rumors about what people are doing here, something about bottles and such, and open the mind, king in yellow, etc., etc. But, I have a meeting. So, if you could be on with it, I would be very much appreciated.
I would love to catch up with you after the meeting and see how this meeting with the king went.
I suppose that's something we could do.
Might see you in the dining room later?
Certainly. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to get myself a steak sandwich.
Sounds quite yummy.
So you watch as he moves over towards one of the walls in the dining room. Is that Christopher, by the way? Christopher,
Yeah.
What's going on, man? How you been? Oh my God, haven't seen you in a while. So yeah, you where were you? Dining room, I said. Yeah, you look on this like kind of. There's this long wall that he moves over towards, and there's all these little glass windowed doors, and each like kind of hinged window is filled with looks like freshly made food items, and you get the sense that there's like people on the other side of the wall like sliding food in, but you see he kind of moves up. There's a little sign he's under. It's got like prices and stuff. It looks like there's references to tokens, but also, money. So like a dime for a coffee, to like, it looks like a token for a steak sandwich, that kind of thing. Or you can spend like $3 here and there. You can get anything you want in a window, etc. And he goes and he gets himself a steak sandwich. Yeah. Also, you can see that around here there's this like fireplace. There's a handful of people in here as well. As you're kind of standing in the middle of the room, you feel this weight just kind of just fall out of you. Like just you almost like the instant effect of like meditation is like you think back to 1995, you think back to all these weird situations with the yellow sign, which you've read about your sister, and all of these like bits of anxiety and stress and guilt, letting down your parents, breaking off your engagement, all of it just sort of fades. And you can physically feel the tension in your shoulders just begin to loosen. And for the first time in a long while, you feel really sleepy.
I would say, given that, if I'm feeling tired, then I'll want to go check in and go up to my room and take advantage of that.
Okay. So you move out in the lobby, go up to the lobby desk. Fella there is like, checking in, are we?
Indeed, I am.
Reservation under?
I don't have a reservation. I'm just looking for a room. Name's Fawn.
Fawn. Kind of looks at you closely. Oh, Fawn, that's interesting. Don't seem to have any rooms. Reservations are full. You sure you haven't made a reservation, man?
Some folks that I knew, though, had just come over here and they had rooms.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Lancet, Miss Rhodes. Yes. Put them up in 604, or excuse me, 605, 606. That Mr. Miles in 604.
I see. Try looking under Bogdan.
Miss Bogdan, yes, we have it right here. Oh, I've had this reservation for quite some time. Expecting you. Oh, wonderful.
What do you mean by quite some time? Like, how long?
Oh, you know, a spell.
How vague?
Time. What is time? You know? Okay, we can get you all checked in here.
Did I make this reservation?
Oh, it doesn't say here who made it. Just says there's a reservation.
Okay.
One Manor Bogdan, deluxe room. Staying indefinitely?
Sure. I'll let you know if anything changes.
Oh, happy to help. Well, if you want to go ahead and take this here key, head on over to that beautiful cage over there. And get Charlie to take you on up to your room.
Oh, what is my room number?
Oh, you're 607.
That's just great. Thank you.
Oh, you're
So
welcome.
much.
You're welcome. You have a wonderful time. Oh, take these 2 tokens here if you get hungry. Dining room is right there we came from. Use these tokens twice a day. It's a meal. Don't want to use your hard-earned money? Go ahead and use one of these. Deluxe customers like yourself. They get these types of meals paid for. Part of the whole Broadle Bend package.
Who can I thank for all of this generosity?
You can thank me. And he kind of holds out a hand at that point.
Are you the owner of this establishment?
No, not at all.
Who is the owner and proprietor?
Oh, someone much higher up on the totem pole than I am.
I see. I've also heard if I am in need of extra tokens that you are the person to talk to.
Extra tokens? Well, not so much extra tokens, but I am a man who knows how to get things.
So you are someone that I could come to if I wanted to maybe accrue some additional tokens.
We could certainly work something out, yeah.
Good to know. I'm feeling mighty tired. I think I'm gonna turn on in.
Well, you have a good night.
Thank you, sir.
You start trudging through the lobby towards the direction, and you feel the tension just whoosh back into your shoulders. You feel the flood of guilt and anxiety. Blame yourself for the death of your sister, yourself for the strange video you saw of your niece. Suddenly the King in Yellow is in her life now. The disappointment of breaking off your engagement, which caused a rift between you and your parents. All of it just comes rushing past. And it's back on you, and you again feel this the idea of sleep and rest is now just like a distant figment of your imagination.
Damn it. I've been separated from the others for a while, so I'm gonna go.
Okay, get on the elevator. Charlie gets it going. Up on floor 606, sixth floor, excuse me. What are the 3 of you doing as you get off the elevator?
Album's gonna let the other 2 walk on ahead and just kind of like say, I'm gonna see if I'm gonna check something, and he wants to see if he has a signal on his phone.
You crack your phone out, and you do not have a signal. No wireless either. There's no wireless internet, no Wi-Fi. You've got you got nothing, and you notice that your battery is just about out of juice.
Have I noticed any outlets since walking around the various halls and areas?
Yeah, I mean, here and there, a lot of them are tastefully camouflaged in the wood paneling here and there.
Okay. Album is going to... He's going to walk down the 6th floor hallway and see if there's a room 616 in this building.
You walk down the hallway. There's, in fact, a room 616 in this building.
He's going to knock on it.
Yeah, you knock on the door. Sure. Roll a luck test.
57.
Door opens up. You see a man, probably in his 60s. Kind of, you get this sense of smoke behind as the door opens up. He's got what looks like an undershirt on and some kind of lounging robe. Do not recognize him in the slightest. He's got a little pipe and reading glasses on. He's like, "Can I help you?"
Yes. Are you J.C. Linz?
Afraid not.
Okay.
Think you got the wrong room, sir.
No worries. Are you looking for a bottle by any chance?
Yes, I am. How? Do you know where the labyrinth is?
It's in the basement.
Yes, of course it's in the basement. Where in the basement? There's not just one basement, there's multiple basements. Basement at the basement at the basement.
Yeah, I mean, you just keep walking until you find it. That's generally how it goes. One door leads to another.
You think it's that simple, do you? You must be a new arrival.
No, I've just done it several times.
You've done it several times? You're saying
Yes.
You found your bottle, and then you've come back again to find it once more. Well, that just doesn't line up at all with what I know.
What I'm saying is that I've often gotten to areas just by walking continually and just going through doors, and eventually I'm where I need to be. It isn't that simple.
Fate, huh? You think someone's directing you?
Oh, no, that's not how I see the universe, but, well, doesn't matter what I see it as. It just seems to happen.
I see. Did someone lead you over here and knock on my door? Or did you choose to do that yourself?
Chose to do it myself, but I've had a lot of problems with this particular room number, and I guess you could say a different life. So I just wanted to see if it had some kind of connection.
I see. It's just a number, sir.
Certainly. Oh, sorry to disturb you. Have a good evening.
No problem. You have a good night. Closes the door up.
And Album will go to his room now.
Okay. Chelsea, Vessel, what about you two?
Vessel, will you go through, check my room with me?
Sure.
Cool, appreciate it. And I'll like turn the key and open the door, but I'll step back for you to go through first.
Welcome. It's
just
pretty nice room.
Full sweep would be awesome.
I mean, I'm sure there's no one in here. Just come on in. And I'll head in there first.
Okay. Yeah, when you open the door, go inside, Vessel. Looks exactly like your room. Everything looks exactly the same. Same orientation and everything. Same wallpaper. Beds in the same location. Nightstand, same location. Bathroom, towels, etc. Everything looks up and up. Perfect.
I like look behind the bed, beneath the bed.
Do you go in with him? I thought he went in first. I'm sorry.
No,
I think I missed it.
I'm behind him.
Okay. So, Chelsea, when you go inside, this looks identical to the room that you saw through the dream window in the Boxer Hotel, room 616. Identical. Same antique phone, same writing desk, same bed, same placement of like the exit sign that says Hotel Broadbent on the back that you remember Vessel trying to rip off the wall but wouldn't work. Mm-hmm. All of that looks exactly the same. Go ahead and roll sand.
Okay. Oh, I have so many pop-ups. 43 failure.
You're adapted to helplessness, correct?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and take 1 point of sand loss.
All right. I'm at 35.
So yeah, I mean, other than that, the room, you know, it looks exactly like it, but you look around, it feels feels fairly mundane. Like, looks just like what you've seen before, but but it looks exactly like what you saw through the window.
Is the phone damaged?
No, you go over the phone. The phone's intact.
Okay.
Everything's intact. There's like no lingering damage. So like when you first saw the room, you obviously don't see like a stack of like, you know, like the typewriter, the Oswald Traveler, like the suitcase, those things that were like affectations, whoever was staying there, those aren't here. But like the furniture, the layout of the room, all of that looks the same. Telephone included. Telephone seems to be pretty standard.
Gotcha. Okay. In the bathroom, because I know we couldn't get into that door when they were swimming through here.
Yeah, you as far as you know, the bathroom is a kind of a shared bathroom down the hall, and you would know that, Vessel. Yeah.
So is it just like a closet or something?
No, like the door that he was trying to open up was getting out into the hallway. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
I think I had them roll sand when they entered the hotel and saw Vessel at the end of the last episode, Tool to Twitch. Pretty sure. I think I did.
Yeah, we did. I remember. Or pretty sure.
I think so. If not,
Been a while.
Whatever.
There's plenty of other opportunities for us to lose.
No, there's only like 5 more. It's crazy. Okay, but you're in your album. Do you go check into your room? And you see the exact same thing. Layout is identical to what you saw through the dream window in Boxer Hotel. Now you may roll that sand test.
Okay.
It's exciting. You guys might actually pass some sand tests for once. I mean,
nope,
not
50
that one,
over
because Derek's
27.
rolling. So. And you're adapted to helplessness?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and take 1 point.
Okay. Album's going to attempt to charge his phone.
Okay. Let's see. Roll a luck test.
71.
You go through your belongings and you look for your charger and you realize you don't have your charger on you. Remember, you guys just like kind of left. You didn't necessarily have everything packed up and everything, so you didn't. So it's just a question of whether or not you would have had it like in a pocket or something like that, or whatever you might have carried with you. So no, don't seem to have a charger. I think adapted to helplessness. I think Album has kind of been playing it pretty well, which is just like you're resigned to everything at this point. You're just like.
Just nihilistic and apathetic.
Exactly. Like what's going to happen is going to happen. I have no control over it. That's what it is. And I feel like that's kind of where Album's been for a while. The
play's already
to be
been
honest. Album's been there. So is Derek. Oh, poor guy. Okay. And at this point, we'll say Fawn, the elevator lets you off as well. You go check your room, or do you do something else?
Yeah, I would go check into my room.
Yeah. And the same thing happens. So you can go ahead and roll that sand test now, too.
Yeah, crap. Fail.
Okay.
I am also adapt to helplessness, though.
1 point. Yeah. All of you realize somebody's pulling your strings. Somebody's pulling your strings. That's what it must be.
Yeah.
So you all are in your rooms. Vessel, you're with Chelsea, but other than that, everyone's in their rooms. What do you guys do? You've heard a couple of you have heard references to soul bottles, to a labyrinth, to maze in the basement. You met a couple of people that seem familiar to you one way or the other. What do we do now?
Album overheard Vessel saying he was in room 605, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Was he within earshot when Chelsea got her room number?
We'll say yeah.
Okay. He's gonna wait, what room am I? I'm 605, right?
Yeah, Vessel is 604, you're 605, Chelsea is 606, and Fawn is 607.
Okay, so Album
Look at
doesn't
that.
know. Well, yeah, Album doesn't know if what Fawn's remembers since he left. So first he'll try 603, and if it's not Fawn, then he'll try 607.
Go ahead and roll a luck test.
All right. 96.
You see an elderly woman open the door. She's looks like she's got on some kind of circa 1925 dress. As she opens the door, her hair is sort of tightly pulled back, and you can see that she's got this kind of vague look on her face. Well, hello, can I help you?
No, sorry, I have the wrong room number. I apologize for disturbing you.
Oh, no, that's no problem, Sonny. Mistakes happen.
And Album will say goodnight and then walk to the other room that he wants to try.
So she starts going like, I don't know, but very strange looking fella. Door closes. Okay, and as you're walking to the room, that's when we'll say the elevator pops open and Fawn steps out. So Fawn, you can see Album like walking through the hallway. You can see Chelsea's room. You can see Chelsea and Vessel through the doorway into Chelsea's room, and you all have rooms that are right next to each other.
So did Album see her get off the elevator, or is this back to her?
We'll say yeah. We'll say yeah.
He'll like make a beeline straight for Fawn, like walking very quickly, and when he's next to her, he's going to murmur, "Okay, so Chelsea and Vessel are looking for their soul bottles. So either they're not them or they're after images or husks. I don't know. Apparently you find this in the basement, but there's numerous basements, one of which has a labyrinth.
That's perfect. That's what the poem said.
Right, yeah. It's, pretty easy to pin together. I still don't know if Vessel and Chelsea are trustworthy, though. Couldn't text you or call you because my phone is dead and I don't have a charger, but there's also no signal here, to no surprise. I'm curious, though, if I go outside, what'll happen?
I think if we go outside, we should all go outside because it's present day outside. So we should probably all do that together, or at least two of us do it together. You shouldn't go alone. You like to go off by yourself. Can you not go off by yourself this time, please?
Well, I don't trust the two Walking Dead, so I guess you're the only person I can stick with.
That's a ringing endorsement of my trustworthiness. I'll take it. So, you had a reservation here?
Yeah, but I didn't make it.
I mean, I didn't either. So, weird thing. I had a conversation with Henry Lundeen downstairs.
That's the guy whose building I had a mishap with, right?
Yeah, he hired.
That is one way to put it.
And the weirdest thing, he was in the door of the dining room, and while I was in the doorway to the dining room, I felt fantastic. I was tired, which I'm almost never tired, you know that. But it's like I wasn't worried anymore. Like, I just felt so much better. And then I went to check in and I walked around and then I got back to feeling like crap again.
Well, if you want, we can go back down there. I can stand outside of the room and see if it's some kind of like trap that's supposed to lure you into a sense of false security. But otherwise, you should stay there so you can get some rest because how do I put this delicately, Fawn? You look like shit.
I know. I do. If other things weren't going on, I would just say that's rude and I'm just not wearing makeup today. But with everything that's gone on, I would agree with that. Is there a 616?
There is. I knocked on it. Somebody answered. Some dude that's our age, no idea. He's looking for his bottle. He was surprised I knew about it. Seems like everybody here is either looking for a bottle and the people that find the bottle disappear. Much like how Abigail disappeared in the real world, so I'm sure there's some kind of correlation.
And it's the same thing with Emmeline, because we know in real life that Emmeline disappeared, and she seems just content to just sort of stay here, but she disappeared in 1950, and she's just hanging out here, and she's sort of around the same age. She wouldn't tell me her age, though. I tried.
That's interesting. If she doesn't have her bottle and she's now looking for it, then that kind of puts a hole in my theory. I don't know what the hell people do here when they're not looking for their bottle. So far, everyone's looking for their bottle. Chelsea and Vessel admitted it to each other, and they forgot that I was lurking behind them, or they just didn't care.
You're always lurking.
Yeah.
Somewhere. So should we go get food?
Yeah, I don't see the harm in that. I'm quite hungry, actually.
Okay. Do you guys let Chelsea and Vessel know about your plan to go back downstairs?
Album does not. He knows the dead don't need to eat. They
Okay.
live off photosynthesis.
Chelsea and Vessel, what have you been doing inside Chelsea's room?
We're just preparing to meet up with Charles, our lift operator.
Okay.
Yep, pretty much.
Some time just for that, yeah.
Ye old lift before current lift.
Okay.
Honestly, Chelsea's doing her normal thing where she's just going through the room.
Yeah, you find kind of nothing that stands out on its own for like eeriness. Like the drawers are empty.
Nothing left behind.
Yeah, there's nothing really there. There's number down to the front desk. There's various toiletries, extra blankets, towels, etc. here and there. Nothing seems to be out of the ordinary.
Okay. Well, what about your room?
It's
Same
exactly
thing?
the same.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know. Are you gonna go take a nap or something?
Oh no, it's quite early. Maybe hang out in the lobby or something. There's a bunch of people here to talk with. Well, we're both looking for things. Maybe they know about it.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, let's go. Do you want to eat or something?
Well, yeah, we're gonna eat with Charles.
Oh, well, dinner time. What time is it now, Jeff? Is it like lunchtime?
Call it midday. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. We could get like a light lunch.
Sure.
Okay. All right. You go back out into the hallway and you see that you no longer see Fawn or Album. Fawn, would you wanted to just call the elevator back up, or would you have wanted to try to take the stairs? Not a trick question.
It feels like a trick.
It's not a trick question. It's just kind of just curious.
Elevator.
Okay. So yeah, you get on the elevator, tell Charlie going back down to the lobby, and he takes you. Chelsea and Vessel, same question. Do you want to take you gonna call the elevator? You gonna take the stairs? What do you feel like doing?
No, let's go downstairs.
Spice it up.
Okay.
Get our
Maybe there's something in
cardio
there.
going.
Okay. Yeah, it's yeah, the stairs themselves, like you would know, Vessel, that like the ones downstairs that flank the elevator are like this wide, threadbare, burgundy carpeted stairs. They kind of wind upwards a bit, and they kind of eventually they stop kind of winding in the very glamorous, elegant way, and they become a little bit more practical and kind of they're folding back and forth upwards, but they still kind of have that carpeted stairs. But yeah, you pop in and you descend. Eventually, come out right next to the elevators on the lobby floor. Don't run into anyone along the way, but when you get down to the lobby, you see there's plenty of people there. Fawn and Album, you beat them to the dining room. You can see, Fawn, that Lundeen is no longer there. Album, go ahead and roll a luck test.
All right. 52.
Yeah, you look around the room in the dining area as Fawn kind of leads you in there. There's a couple other people here, but none of them seem familiar to you as you look around. However, as you kind of wander in, you look around, you see the whole long wall on one side is covered in that glass, like I was describing before, with the different hinged windows that have the shelves with the different food, the signs with the prices. You see all that kind of stuff. Occasionally, you see these shadows of workers through the glass, but there doesn't appear to be a clear entrance to the kitchen anywhere in here. But I don't know how much you have been, you've been playing it, but to some degree, there's probably lingering guilt somewhere in Album's mind. I would hope about his brother. Maybe would you say, kind of getting your brother wrapped up into this?
Oh yeah, because he had no idea that chemical analysis would do that.
And at a certain point, you just kind of step into the room, you look at the fire, you look at other people kind of lounging around, drinking here or there, some of them very embarrassingly drunk. You just sort of feel that guilt just fade. And you're like, how would you have known that such a thing would happen? It was just a simple chemical analysis. Nothing crazy. It's not your fault. Sense of paranoia of like everyone out to get you just sort of washes away a bit. And these are just strangers. No one's here trying to hurt you. Like no one's there. You just kind of feel the tension just lift away. And you just, for the first time in a while, like you breathe and like it's this long, as everything just washes out. And you haven't felt this calm in quite some time. Fawn.
Yes.
Same feeling returns. The tension melts away. Same thing.
So Fawn will look over at Album and say, "Do you see what I mean?"
I do. This is a most peculiar sensation. Sorry, by the way, for what I said earlier. I was just tired and hungry, and now I feel a lot better.
I don't even remember what you said. We should get some food, though.
Yeah. Let's see what they've got.
Steak sandwiches are the menu for lunch today. Coffee as well. You can get looks like iced tea. There's also an array of various alcoholic beverages that are on some of the side over here. It doesn't look like there's too much being kind of the lunch hour, but yeah, there's definitely some booze available here and there.
So,
you only have 2 tokens, so you basically can get like a meal.
One wants to look for cash and hold on to the tokens. Because you can pay with...
Oh, see if you have cash?
Yeah.
Sure. Roll a D100. We'll say you have $95
Ooh.
of cash on you.
Would Album be able to make that same roll?
Absolutely. Go right ahead.
All right.
This is where he rolls a critical success. You got $38 on you, Album. Again, this is literally what you all had in your wallets and your pockets when you left the box, or you guys were not prepared that this was going to happen to you today.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So Fawn is gonna kind of whisper to Album, "Save up your tokens. Pay with cash."
Do you know what else they go for?
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
And so, she'll kind of pay for both of our lunches.
Okay. No problem. You kind of there's a little collection box and stuff. It seems very honor system kind of going on here. Like you just like with the coins, you just pop them into a door and you kind of open it up, you know, and same sort of thing. You can see the shadows moving about. Probably can see you think, but doesn't seem like there's a fairly honor system kind of going on. But you grab your steak sandwiches. You feel they're kind of warm, wrapped up in some butcher paper here and there.
Does Album see any kitchen staff crawl in through cupboards?
You don't see the kitchen staff. You like everything, like the way everything's kind of set up. It's hard to see, but you see people moving about back there somewhere. You see like the shadows and silhouettes of people moving, but you can't make them out specifically.
Okay.
You sit down, and you eat. Tastes good. Tastes nice. Yeah, it's a good solid meal actually. It's a nice big cut of meat. A little horseradish sauce is on it, it's pretty good. Back when I ate meat, I loved steak sandwiches with horseradish.
Oh, they are delicious. It's making me want one.
I know.
Are there any like relevant or like any conversations that are relevant to like Fawn and I that I could eavesdrop on with my alertness?
Yeah, you don't. I mean, like, there's people talking here and there, and I don't know what you would consider relevant, but definitely there's some scuttle. Some people talking here and there about bottles and the labyrinth. Nothing beyond what you've heard before. People throwing out you know, how they kind of wander around the basements for a bit and they just kind of spit them out back on the lobby. Others talking about how, they saw some people going down into the basements with like spelunking gear, things like that, but nothing specifically mentions you all or any of the names that you would be on alert for. And so at that point, Chelsea and Vessel walk into the dining room. You look around, you can see Album and Fawn off the table near the fireplace, getting a sandwich. Two of you walk in. Vessel, you know what to do. You've done this many a time. Pop up.
Go in and get my sandwich.
Drop it. Yeah, drop a token. Yeah, you can get coffee, tea, water, iced tea, whatever you want. You pull up a chair next to Album and Fawn. What do you do, Chelsea?
Do I have cash?
Roll that D100. You got 57 bucks on you.
Nice. I'll pay with cash instead.
Okay. It's like $3 for the sandwich. It's a dime for a cup of coffee.
Nice. That's exactly what I got.
Okay. You sit down with the crew.
You guys want to go check out the basement later?
Yes, but I wonder, like, what's going to give us an advantage in being successful? Because everyone seems to go down to the basement and no one seems to find what they're looking for. So what do we know that other people don't know that would actually help us with this?
Well,
Maybe it's
Charlie
exactly
said he
that.
was going to tell us. And didn't we have, like, that map or whatever?
You did in your room 616 in the Boxer Hotel. Man, you had a lot of stuff, including a map on a hotel brothel bin stationery.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that would be great to have right now, wouldn't it?
Yes, that
It's
would
still
be.
in Foundry.
Could I, like, roll to see if I could draw it from memory?
Sure. Let's do it in ×5.
While she does that, Album's going to ask Vessel, how many times have you been down in the basement, Vessel?
Maybe every day. Lost count.
Yeah, you know how to get down to the basement. Yeah, for sure. I would say you've been down. We could say you've been down in the basements, but you probably haven't made it all the way to the labyrinth yet.
Mm.
I'm trying to find the actual evidence again where it
I got
went.
it.
I can't find it.
I have
Letterhead. Right,
Chapter
apartment.
What
letterhead.
folder is it in?
Chapter 3.
Right, apartment.
Oh, that's right. I moved it to chapter 3. That's why I was like looking at chapter 1. Yeah. Yeah. As you can see, you know that you have to go down to the basement. Somewhere in the basement is the WL, which you can probably conclude is the Whisper Labyrinth, and somewhere within the Whisper Labyrinth is JL Bottle, which you probably all conclude is JC Lynn.
JC Lindsay's bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's the question of, is there enough detail on that map to get there? But it certainly could help you. But Vessel, yeah, you
Tell us.
you know how to get down there. Sure.
Yeah, but even before that, we have dinner with Charlie.
If you want.
I had a dinner invitation from Mr. Rourke.
Oh. Is it what it's like a dinner invitation or like?
You know how he is. He's, of a different time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He was weird.
Do we think we should try the labyrinth at night?
The trends probably point to that.
Vessel, have you tried it at night?
Tried every time of day. Still can't find it.
Well, now that Chelsea drew this out for us, maybe we can have more luck.
Why are you so determined on getting your bottles back?
Something in there for me.
It just feels like you know how I'm like missing bits of my memory. I feel like it has to be there.
And what happens if you fail while trying to get it?
I don't
What do you
know.
mean by fail? We just keep searching.
Yeah.
Interesting.
This also begs the question, what do we do with JC's bottle? Because if he hasn't been here for a while, we're going to find his bottle, and then what?
I don't know. We'll find out when we get it.
Because he has a bottle here, but he didn't find the bottle, and he left without it.
Didn't you find a bottle? Or would I even remember that?
I would assume I shared information from chapter
Fawn,
1.
yeah, you found a weird bottle in the Samagina household. You saw a picture once of a bottle with your name attached to the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And you've seen pictures of various other bottles, and they all look different. None of them look the same. They're all slightly different, made of different material or designed slightly differently, bigger, smaller, etc. Some are kind of artistic, some rustic. Kind of changes a bit here and there. So, do you finish up your food? What do you want to do?
Album's going to suggest to Fawn maybe try taking a nap here or something and seeing if you can actually rest, given whatever this space does.
You do see a handful of people have stretched out on, like, it's not the biggest dining room, but yeah, there's a couple of people here. You can see that they've got empty martini glasses stuck in their fingers still.
We try it in a room to see if another window.
I can't sleep. I am.
Chelsea, do you
feel
not
very
feel it while you're
sleepy.
sitting in here?
Yeah,
Feel
I am
what?
tired only when I'm in here. So here is the place for me to nap.
That's
I'm just gonna
interesting.
go
That's
curl
a
up.
really.
Album,
weird
you feel
face.
pretty. You feel pretty sleepy too. You feel.
But yeah, but he's noticing that
Go for it,
Chelsea's.
Dad.
I'm assuming Chelsea's not feeling the same way.
Nothing in particular. No.
Album's like. So as soon as Fawn and I entered this place, we felt a lot more relaxed, a lot more at ease. She's able to sleep for once. So it's
Hopefully.
interesting that you don't feel anything.
I feel full.
Yeah, but that's, I don't know, interesting. I say for now, at least one of us stays with Fawn while she gets rest.
Okay.
Okay.
Fawn's
So
gonna
who's-
curl up in a chair.
Who's sticking around with Fawn, and who's leaving?
Album will stay since he's been sleeping just fine. So even though it's pleasant in this place, he doesn't really care.
Okay. All right, Fawn. And I assume Chelsea and Vessel, you're leaving. Is that correct?
Yeah. If you guys want to stay here, we'll go searching again.
Okay.
Can I have had something to drink to try to help? Because I forgot, I'm still rolling sand, and I only have 20.
So I'll give you a choice. You can roll con times 5, or you can get sloppy drunk. Everybody here you see dozing has a empty bottle, or an empty bottle of alcohol, or a glass in their hand, or sitting next to them on a table.
I'll
Or you
take
just
my
roll con
chances
times
with
5.
con times 5.
Roll con times 5.
It's 75.
Go ahead.
Am I going to be able to use a reroll on this?
We do have to. Yeah, it's
Okay.
attribute and skill rolls, or you can re-roll those.
Ooh, got a 12.
You in fact do doze off
Oh, thank goodness.
extraordinarily quickly. Okay.
I don't even remember, what do you get for sleeping? It's been so long
1d6.
since I had a good night's sleep. Oh no.
You can use a re-roll on that if you
I
like.
need to
Yeah, I would say use a
for that.
reroll.
Okay. You have one
Roll
left.
better.
2. Oh,
6.
Wow.
Oh,
that's
it's the
about
best
as
of
efficient a
times,
re-roll
it's
as
the
you can
worst of
do.
times.
You can take 6 willpower back.
Oh, I'm back up to 8.
Time will take a while. Album, are you going to stay with her the whole time, or are you going to slip out at any point?
Album will stay with her the whole time, but he'll also just kind of look around at different people and people watch, see if you can
Okay.
gain information. Also, just see if you can find her like a blanket or something.
Yeah, you can. I mean, there's plenty of like bellhops and people moving around. You could probably request one pretty easily.
Okay, yeah, they'll do that.
Yeah, no problem. Are you yourself gonna, rest the eyes a bit? Or are you just gonna stay awake and kind of people watch?
He'll stay awake just to make sure that like nothing bad happens.
Sure.
Even though he's at ease, he's still in an unfamiliar place.
Okay, fair enough. Chelsea and Vessel, you got some hours now. What do you guys go do?
How far do those stairs go down?
Vessel, you know that there are stairs. It's not the same as the ones that you were just on, because those are the fancy ones that wind upwards. But you know that in the lobby, there are stairs off to the sides. It's a staff-only door, and you know that those stairs are the ones that lead down to the basements. It's like this small metal fire door that's set in the base of the staircase that goes up. It's marked staff only. And, if you linger at all in the lobby, you can see hotel staff coming and going. Vessel, you would know that the hotel staff, that's where their apartments are. Just like Charlie, probably Elmer, etc., etc. You do know it's unlocked, but you have been caught probably in the past trying to go through it, and kind of got called out by a bellhop, and Elmer eventually, quickly kind of got escalated to Elmer pretty quickly. So you know that they don't like it when people go down there, but it doesn't really come to violence. It's usually just sort of threats of some kind. So you have to be careful, and you got to kind of time it right to get in there without causing a fuss.
We do have a dinner invite, so I think I'm not too stressed about that.
That does not preclude you not being allowed to go down there.
No, I mean not early. I'm talking about I'll probably just wait until it's time for dinner to go down there.
Okay, well then what else do you want to do? Or we can fast forward to dinner. It's fine.
Yeah. Was there anything else you wanted to do, Vessel?
Oh, we can fast forward.
Okay.
I was thinking of just checking the lobby first to see if there's anybody.
So you know that elsewhere in the lobby, you know that there's an employee lounge that's behind the front desk. Usually you can't really see too well because it's shielded from view of the customers. But there is that back there. I'll say, Vessel, you probably haven't been back there. But it does have an employee lounge. Other than that, there's nothing else on the main floor lobby area that I haven't described already. Chelsea, Vessel, and Album, all of you roll luck tests.
47.
15.
13.
Okay. So, I'll do these one at a time. Vessel. As you're lingering about in the lobby, kind of waiting around for kind of Chelsea to give you the go-ahead to get going, there's a fella who kind of catches your attention. You kind of take a look at him. He's got this clothing on, and he's hidden off in the corner of the lobby itself. Seems a little shell-shocked. Look on his face, which in itself is kind of worrisome. But more than that, he's wearing fatigues. And you would know they're kind of World War II era army fatigues. He's got this white German winter jacket over top. And you can see as he's kind of skirting along the walls, he's got this rifle that he's got dragging behind him. Yeah, and he just looks a little confused. Chelsea, you see that they see the same thing that Fawn saw. You see that there's all of you see each other's stuff too. I'm not trying to suggest that only you're not hallucinating or anything. But you also see that a woman that looks very much like what you've seen photos, images of Emmeline Fitzroy is lounging about in the Chase Lounge in the lobby. And whenever Derek gets back, I'll tell him who he sees. Oh, whoa, that was freaky. That was just a wee bit freaky. And Vessel, you see wandering into... you see wandering into the dining room where you're in. You see Thomas Manuel from the night floors, from the McAllister building. Vessel, we'll start with you if there's something you wanted to do with that.
Yeah, I'll see if I can grab his attention, call him over. Hey, young boy. Have a seat.
What?
Just the phrasing there. Hey, young boy. You, with the shell-shocked look and the nervousness look on your face. Me, random stranger, calling you over. Sure, he'll look up. You're talking to me?
Yeah, you're right.
Well, I guess you could, yeah. Just a little, yeah. I've had better days. You could say that, I suppose.
You seem a bit troubled. Are you lost? You know what you're doing here?
You ever get the feeling that you're not supposed to be here? You know? You ever get that feeling that you're not quite...
Once or twice, yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I just... I don't really understand what I'm looking at here. Last thing I remember, I was in this... I was in the war, you know, and big old combat, firefight, you could say. Big old French house. Crazy doors everywhere, people getting lost. And all of a sudden, I wake up here, and there's some strange man in a green jacket talking to me about bugs, and I don't even remember asking him about bugs, and now I can't find him, and I don't know where he is. And there's people talking about labyrinths and bottles and things, and I just really want to get out of the hotel. I don't even remember getting into a hotel. I very much would like to leave, sir.
I know a guy. I'll bring you to Elmer. You might know
Elmer.
more.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Yeah, and I'll take him over to.
And you
Can I
you see...
intercept them before they get to Elmer?
Sure, good.
And just like look at Vessel like, please introduce me to your friend.
Vessel didn't even introduce himself.
Vessel, who's your new friend here?
Well, just found him in the lobby. Looked lost. Trying to help him out.
Oh. And then I'll turn to him and be like, well, I go by Chelsea. What's your name?
Name's Reuven, but you can call me, the boys call me Vinnie. Vinnie Labelis. Nice to meet you.
Do I
Everyone
recognize...
take a swig. Papa Probo is requiring us to stay hydrated.
Do I recognize his accent?
Northeastern,
I read
maybe.
the Tartessian book.
No. I mean, it sounds like, New Yorkish, something like that, maybe.
Okay.
You do recognize the name. Actually, I think Vessel would recognize the name. No, the last name, Labelis. Way back in the... Let me make sure I'm not going to tell you something you shouldn't know.
Billabas? Bilopolis?
What?
What is it?
Billabas?
What's the spelling of the name you're saying?
Are we just throwing things out now?
Yeah.
How do you spell the name you're saying?
Oh, see, I don't remember if you looked into it or not. Labolas.
I think I have that name written down anywhere.
Yeah. Okay. Then yeah, we'll say you don't recognize that then.
Oh, okay.
That was close. I almost gave you something I shouldn't have.
Whew. Me.
Yeah, so yeah, you can call me, yeah, Vinny's fine. Yeah, yeah. You all been here long?
Yeah, quite a while.
No, I just got here today.
You ever get the feeling you're dead? You know, got this strange bug in the back of my head, you know? Well, a lot of gunfire, and yeah, I just sort of, you ever get the feeling that maybe you're not supposed to be here? Like, you know, this is like, what do they call it? Not heaven, but the other one. What's the other one called?
Like
the
limbo?
purgatory. No, limbo. That's like a thing kids do, right? No, purgatory. Purgatory. Yeah,
Okay.
That's it. You know, you're not good, you're not bad, you're somewhere in between.
Yeah. Wait,
I don't know.
think
Maybe
we're supposed to find our bottles.
Maybe I
Do you
find a bottle. What are you talking
yeah.
about?
There's like
bottles. What are you talking about?
soul bottles or something we're supposed to look for.
I'm sorry, miss. Did you bang your head on something? Or I've been overseas for a while. Is this some new? This is like one of the Coca-Cola type of things.
It could be. I honestly don't know. And I look at Vessel like, how would you describe it?
It's got like a message for me. Just something I need to know.
Message in a bottle?
Like advertising or something. You know, that they're trying to, you know, drink your Ovaltine or something.
Nobody really knows yet, but it's like maybe it's just like a gimmick of the hotel.
Legumes to the Victor. Thank you so much for that. Just gifted 5 tier 1 subs. It's very kind of you. Very much appreciate that. Thank you. Very nice of you. Very, very cool. Really, really appreciate it. Yeah, I really there is a lot of what the fucking crazy going on in this. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Sorry, ma'am. I don't know nothing about no soul bottles. Whatever you're talking about. I have no idea how I got here. Where the hell am I? Where's this place?
That name in my notes.
Did you?
I did.
Do you have any sort of clarification on why it's there? And I'll refresh your memory on.
My handwriting is the worst.
How did you spell it?
Yes. Thank you. I have said that for 20 years that Melissa's handwriting is the worst. And she says, no, I'm right there. It's on tape. All of you heard it. It's recorded. Someone clip that shit. Someone clip it right now.
It was. Oh goodness, where were we? And Wild going to Bale. Bale was doing something. Then we heard the name. Finds a pipe box, or finds.
She's trying to read her
handwriting. And then tell Alphonse to send a phone now or something. But I definitely see LABOLAS was in my notes.
Okay.
You think you caught it while he's like on the phone with somebody giving orders? Or...
I think hang on.
Yeah.
Was that when we were like eavesdropping on him in the room, like giving a series of orders?
Yeah, that sounds right. Let me see if I can. This is what players are supposed to take notes.
Well,
GMs are just supposed to.
They just have to be legible.
I know. That's fair.
This is
Me trying to guess spelling when I'm writing my notes, like Darabandi has gone on a wild just evolution in my notes.
Okay. Lobolus finds the box of papers soon.
Papers?
Yes.
That's what that is.
Tell her to take the radio from him and put it on the wall.
Yeah, because that's the radio that we found in Abigail Wright's room.
Do you remember anything about that radio? Vessel, because he was the one who actually discovered it.
Yeah, it dropped a bunch of like code names, like Indian Moon or something. Was it a walkie-talkie?
Thank you, John. Thank you very much. Yes. In fact, since you recalled it was the walkie-talkie, I'll go ahead and refresh your memory. So it was backpack size, camo green radio, was fastened to the wall with that resin in Abigail Wright's apartment. So the control panel and the telephone remained free because it was basically like a communication device used in the army.
Yep.
You used it, and you kind of turned the radio on. You listened, and you heard like static, but you also heard bursts of a voice speaking in a male monotone, and it was usually a single word at the time. And you heard India, Moon, Dallin, Exeter, Daimonion, and Seer, lost between blares of static. And because you have military science, you were able to recognize it as an SCR-300 walkie-talkie used by Allied forces in World War II. And it was also in excellent condition, for 1995. But you never looked into it any further, I don't believe.
Yeah.
It had Exeter, Dallin, Seer.
Isn't that weird? Whoopsie.
This whole time? God damn it.
I think this is one of those things that we realized a handful of episodes ago.
I got India Moon.
Whoopsie.
Yeah.
What's Daimonia?
Daimonion.
Is it Dominion?
Daimonion.
I wrote it down as Dominion. I wrote that wrong.
Daimonion. So unless that's pronounced Dominion, which maybe it is, and Jeff's just screwing that up, but yeah. I mean, if you want to, you can just Google it, Ashley. If you just Google that, and you'll see what it means, because your character would know. It's no problem.
I wonder if he has a radio on him.
Yeah, you see, you look, and he's got, it looks like he's got different equipment here and there. He's got the gun, but you do not see his radio. You do not see a radio on him. He's got the jacket, like a heavy winter jacket. He's got, he's definitely in fatigues. Looks like confused, and he's got his gun, but he doesn't have a radio on him. You can ask him about it, but he doesn't have it.
Yeah, I'll see if he remembers. Do you remember what happened to your radio?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'll tell you. The radio, yeah, they're gonna have my ass for that. I gotta tell you, yeah, we were in some chateau or something in France. Not Paris, Rhines, something like that. All sorts of these crazy mirrors and stuff going around. You know, I was in the U.S. 4th Armored Division, you know, and we got these enemy transmissions, you know, here and there. Anyway, it was, I gotta tell you, there was this strange incident, firefight going on in the house and everything, mirrors, doors. I don't know. Who needs that many doors? It's so strange, and you're gonna call me crazy, and you know you're right to do so. You're right, but I gotta tell you, I swear I saw a circus clown, like right there in the firefight. You know, just sort of dancing around. You know, what the hell? You know, I don't get it, man. I really confusing, you know. And I got this. I remember I was using my radio. Now that you mention it, what was the last time? Yeah, I got this weird transmission. It was about 2 minutes long, and I wrote it out for my CO. Did I deliver it to my CO? I don't remember. It was something about was a conversation. It was in English. I don't know what it was. None of ours. You know, it was a play. They were talking about some sort of play. Something about the, Yellow Emperor. Something about a Yellow Emperor, whatever. And that's the last time I remember using it. You know, I haven't seen it for a while. They're gonna have my ass. But then again, where the hell am I? Yeah, I think I got shot. I don't feel anything.
Yeah.
I don't like being here, you know?
Alright, I'll help you out. Come on over. I'll introduce you.
Okay,
And
so
I'll bring him over to Elmer.
you bring him over to Elmer. Okay. Chelsea, you follow them or do you hang out in the lobby? Album, you also see Thomas Manuel. So what do you want to do?
I'll probably just go sit next to Emmeline for now and like maybe read something.
Just stalk her like a creep. Okay.
No, I'm being like a cat, chilling in the same room, you know?
Uh-huh.
Not interacting yet.
Just to confirm, I saw Thomas in the dining room, correct?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Is he sitting by himself or with someone?
Yeah, he comes in. He's got his headphones on. He's got his Walkman. He goes right up to the wall, gets himself a sandwich, pops a couple tokens in, takes a cup of coffee, and he sits down, unwraps, and he just starts eating.
Didn't we see him in the doctor's office place?
You did see him in the Dorchester house, yeah.
Yeah.
Like specifically Album and I.
I don't remember specifically who, but yeah, I mean, you guys saw him in the Dorchester house.
Yeah.
Album's going to sit down at his table and say, Thomas? And then I
apologize. I'm
Thomas.
I'm gonna die of coughing here. Oh, I apologize. I think the stream heard one of my coughing fits.
He'll motion to Thomas to like take off the headphones, and then when he does, he'll say, "Did you finally make it from the McAllister building?"
I got one more in me, I think. Melissa replaced my water with vodka, so this has been a rough. Stream. We did that once in wasn't it? But when I was in an undergrad, and we used to do like our poetry and fiction readings and stuff at the local independent bookstore. Every now and then, when it was like one of our friends that would go up, like our small little group, we'd secretly replace their cup of water that was underneath the lectern with vodka. And so when they go to sip, when they're in between like the poems they're reading, they just start like freaking out. It's so great. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's very difficult. Very difficult to get through, especially if you're reading a story, which is what I had to read. All right. I'm sorry. So you motion for him to take off the headphones, which he does, and he kind of looks up at you. He puts it around, his neck. You can hear the sounds of music coming through. And he kind of leans forward. It's like, what was that? What'd you say?
Do you remember me? Did you finally made it from the McAllister building?
Yeah, I remember the McAllister building. Do we know each other?
Yeah. Do you remember the investigation team that came out back in '95?
Investigation team.
Looking for Abigail, right?
Yeah, I remember her. Yeah, sure, I remember her. Yeah.
Right.
Laura.
Well,
Yeah, Laura. I mean, most of people called her Abigail. Sure. Yeah. What about it?
when did you make it here?
I don't
Last
know.
I talked to you, you were just hanging out in the McAllister building doing your paintings, waiting to ascend to the night floors like she did.
Ascend to the night floors. You feeling okay there, pal? Why don't you take a seat? You might maybe get something to eat or something.
I just finished eating, actually. Same thing you had, so if I'm crazy, you're about to feel it too.
Yeah, so I I don't know. Yeah, I've been here a while. I don't remember exactly when I got here, but yeah, I've been here for a little bit.
You looking for your bottle?
Yeah, I am.
How many times have you been in the labyrinth?
Oof. I don't really count, but it's been a spell. Yeah, that's for sure.
What stopped you so far every time you've gone down there?
Well, the basements themselves, they kind of go on here and there. And then, there's a sommelier. You got to worry about that. And I don't know. It's just, there's a lot of bottles down there, lots of them. And a lot of them to go through.
Have you known anybody that's found their bottle before you have?
Well, I presume Abby. Laura, yeah.
How come you call her Laura? I'm just curious. I've only ever known her as Abby.
It's a middle name. It was sort of a thing. We were friends.
Okay.
Neighborly.
Makes sense.
Very talented. We're both artists. It's a good place McAllister building. Alt Life did a good thing for us.
Do you remember the Dorchester house at all? I remember you from the McAllister building. Yeah.
Dorchester. Yeah, Dorchester. That sounds. I've never been to. Was that Boston, Massachusetts?
Yeah,
Rhode
Dr.
Island,
Friend.
something?
Yeah, Boston.
Man, it got me at a loss. I don't know. No, I'm afraid.
All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your lunch, and thanks for talking to me.
Yeah, man, happy hunting, Hey, just be careful if you're going to go down. Just be careful that you don't, alert the security. Yeah. They're not going to do anything. They're all bark, no bite, but it's an annoying bark. Let's just put it that way. They just they could really put a damper in the afternoon, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. When's the best time to go? When were they not paying attention, or how have you been managing it? It's been hard.
You just kind of time it right. There's plenty of people here, when they're not looking. You just go, here, there. That's it.
Okay. All right. Well, best of luck.
Yeah, you too. Hey, if you find anything, share like, it's you tell me, I tell you, scratch all each other's backs, whatever the phrase is. You know what it is.
Sure. What room are you in? I can leave notes for you if I make any progress before I leave.
Oh, no shit. Okay, yeah. I'm in 510.
Okay, I'm in 605. So
605.
I'll leave slips of paper. Yeah.
Okay.
I can leave slips of paper under your door.
What was your name again, by the way? I never got your name.
Agent Album is how you knew me.
Agent Album? You sure I knew you?
Yeah.
I feel horrible. I'll be honest. I started doing some drugs. You know how it is, Alt Life. This.
Gotta find that inspiration.
Yeah, you know it. My parents, they would be very, very unhappy to hear that. But no offense here with this, but with a face like yours, I figure I probably would remember you.
Yeah. Well, it's okay. I also have a problem with chemicals, just in a different way.
Pill popper. Okay. All right. I
Yep.
got you. All right. No problem. All right. Well, you don't really need any of that around here, Yeah. But yeah. So 605.
Yep, that's me.
Okay. Yeah, and there's that one other thing. There's that fella. What's his name? Mark. Yeah, Mark Rourke. Heavy set guy, smokes a cigarette. He calls all the ladies, chickadee and whatnot. I think I saw him one time. He's just down in the basements by the Arboretum, and he was like doing some sort of digging there. So if you find him down there, maybe it could be a lead for you. He didn't really want to talk to me too much, but maybe you could talk to him.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, you have a good one. All right.
You too. See ya.
Hey Pat, what's going on? Let's see. We're going to go back to Chelsea. You're next to Emmeline Fitzroy. You've been stalking her for the past who knows how long, just staring her down, daggers.
I'm reading.
Okay.
I'm not creepily.
What are you reading? What you reading?
Whatever I grabbed off the coffee table, so probably a newspaper.
Okay. Yeah. Reading all about World War II.
This is bizarre. Okay.
Sure.
Any references to like any active plays going in like maybe like the entertainment section?
No, nothing like that.
Okay.
I like how you keep fishing for that. It's so great. It's from the very beginning. You and Melissa have been fishing for that.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the moment where it's like, yeah, actually, some shit's going down.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody ever like approach her?
You do see occasionally she asks for like a refill of whatever she's drinking, and she like kind of puts a tip, and like someone and one of the bellhops goes and fetches it for her. But other than that, no one interacts with her.
Okay. Chelsea will lean over and be like, what are you drinking?
Hello, darling.
Sorry,
just
rude.
A sip of. No, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. A little bit of brandy, is all.
Oh, all right. I might have to order some of that myself, and then she'll, get a bellhop and order her own drink.
Oh, well, it's not quite that easy, unfortunately. Certain perks here and there.
Oh.
But no, I can get you. I'll get you one. Good sir, man. Can you get my friend here, Brandy, just another one? Yes, and then she just go ahead and put it on my tab. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Certainly.
Seems you know a little bit about this place. Is there any other tips you can give me about being here at the Brothel Bin?
Tips? Whatever do you mean, darling?
Well, you know how to get the good drinks, apparently.
Sure. You just have to know the right people. Elmer is a bit of a son of a bitch, but you do the right thing for him. Sometimes lend you a favor.
Oh, okay.
We have an arrangement, let's say.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. Is there
Sure.
anything he's partial to?
Oh, well, he has very peculiar requests from time to time. Illogical, you might even say. Didn't really make any sense at all, to be honest with you.
What's the most unusual?
Oh, suddenly trying to get two random strangers into a fight or something, or picking a random guest and sprinkling a little strange extra pepper in their food so they have some kind of allergic reaction, or things of that sort. Little random pieces here and there.
Oh. Okay. Well, thank you. That's good. That's good to know.
But I tell you, if you know how to get into the labyrinth, I think he'll give you just about anything.
Really? Elmer's trying to get into the labyrinth himself?
Oh, pretty much everyone here is, darling.
Have you ever been?
No, I know it's somewhere in the basement somewhere, but I don't really care.
Oh, why not? It seems to be something everybody's really interested in.
Just never quite appealed to me. I'm quite comfortable where I'm at, thank you. But everyone down there has some, what they call them, soul bottles. I spoke with another woman earlier about it, but yeah. I've seen all sorts of folks like yourself coming in, coming out, here and there. Searching for days, weeks, years even. Some come back empty-handed. Some, I presume, found what they were looking for.
What can you tell me about soul bottles?
Oh, I haven't the faintest. Other than people are looking for them. That's it.
Yeah.
Somewhere down in the basements, in that little labyrinth area, everyone's got a bottle. Heavens to Betsy, I don't know why anyone would want to grab one, but some people do. I'm perfectly content to sit here drink my brandy and read my books.
That does sound relaxing.
It is indeed.
How'd you wind up here at the Brothel Bin yourself?
Oh, I just found a hotel that interested me, let's just say.
Okay. Well, it was a pleasure meeting you. Thank you again for the brandy.
Oh, it was a pleasure talking to you. That's the other benefit. You meet wonderful people. You make all sorts of friends here and there, and, although it's transient and you don't get to speak with people for too long, you can really learn a thing or two about a person. And some strange characters.
Really? I haven't met too many. Who would you say is the strangest?
I like
keep
how
mimicking your
I
accent
know, right?
every
I was just gonna say the same thing. Like I keep getting Ashley to
just
go
about
into
to
Yeah.
post.
Well, artist types for sure. Definitely bohemians coming here and there. Wanting to get something about the artists, writers, painters, sculptors, every which way. Most of them don't really engage in their art when they're in a hotel, but they're looking for something more. Something about this place, about what happens here, seems to appeal to those creative types.
Did you ever meet an Abigail Wright?
Sure. I remember Miss Wright.
Could you tell me about her? I've never actually gotten to meet
Lovely
her.
young gal. Very lovely young woman. Didn't know her very well, much like yourself. Had a brief conversation here and there. She had a author friend of hers as well. As far as I know, she was some sort of experimental artist type. She was all sorts of different mediums and pieces, collage, something like that. Not quite my taste, Arthur, her friend, I can't remember his name, but he was a little bit more rough around the edges, you could say.
Gotcha. Was Arthur her paramour?
Arthur. No. Arthur, like a writer. He was a writer,
Oh,
dear.
pardon me. Okay. Was that gentleman her boyfriend? Did you know? Or?
I don't know if there was romantic affiliation between the two or not, but they were friendly.
Okay. Yeah. Good to know. Well, thank you.
Oh, well, you're forever welcome. But I can't say I've seen them for quite some time, though. They vanished, let's say. Much like they all do. Well, some. The lucky ones, or perhaps the unlucky ones. Can't tell you which is better.
I heard there's a ballroom here.
Sure.
Which floor was that on?
Well, I can't say I've been there personally, but I do know that down in the basements, there appears to be ballroom down there. It's not one we have any sort of active events, but I have heard whispers of it here and there. I think it's been repurposed for some other use.
Oh.
I'm quite content in the lobby and in my room, thank you.
Yeah, no. It's definitely very nice up here. Which floor are you on?
Oh, me? Second floor.
Second floor. Oh, okay. I'm up on the 6th.
Oh, that's lovely. Lovely.
It's got a very nice view. Wow. Thank you again, Emmeline. And I'll get.
What was your
the
name,
extra-
darling? I don't know if I got it.
Magnolia.
Magnolia. How extravagant.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you.
I'm going to get back to my book now.
Yes. Have a great evening. And
You too.
Okay, so Vessel, you just were basically trying to help him, like you just making the connection to Elmer and stuff. Okay. So like you go up and kind of Elmer goes through the familiar, at this point it's fairly familiar for you because you've seen it multiple times, where Elmer just like checks his books, sees if there's a reservation, and in fact there is a reservation under the name of Labilis, but when you're up there, he kind of pauses. Oh, I got two. Are you Mark or Reuven? Oh, excuse me. Yes. And you hear like they have like a brief exchange as he mentions his name and stuff like that. And like he's like, Mark's my brother. I'm like, Mark's my brother. And like is he here? Is he staying at these? That kind of thing. So there's like they kind of get that into their own little conversation here and there. So do you want to like linger and eavesdrop, or do you want to do something else?
I was about to say I'll just hang out for a second, see what happens.
Okay. Yeah, you just something. Yeah, you hear about he's got a brother named Mark. But it doesn't appear that either, like, this was the first of the Labalus reservations that has been kind of filled in. It doesn't seem as if he's arrived. And let me check one thing really quickly. Gotta check one thing.
Did you hear that Abigail went upstairs with someone? Like
yeah, way back in the day. Mm-hmm. That is correct.
And we don't have a name.
No, they were an
author
author
got
type.
a name.
Could be Tracy.
They're a businessman.
Oh, is it a businessman?
Rourke is the businessman. He's a.
Oh.
So, as you're at the desk, Vessel, and you're just listening. So you're not actually an active participant in the conversation, but you hear them kind of go back and forth. And when Elmer mentions, like, there being the name down for two different, and how Mark, the brother, hasn't checked in, you can see that Vinnie seems to get upset. And it's just like, but my brother died, and kind of goes through it all. He's like, he got on the bad road of things, and he kind of gets into this whole thing how he was literally killed during a robbery, apparently, like where he was, he participated in it, like he was betrayed by somebody, by his partner or something like that, and family hasn't heard from him anything more about it, and for him 12, 13 years, because for him it's like 1944.
Right. So I'm just like catching on to the theme that something about death in coming years.
Yeah.
Can I make that connection?
If you want, you can make that connection. The main thing, though, is that his brother was killed about 13 years earlier after some bank robberies down in the South. And I guess he got betrayed or something by a partner, and that was the last they heard of anything. But eventually Elmer's able to kind of calm him down. They the bellhops kind of bring him out something to drink, like a stiff drink, but he just sort of like swishes back, probably whiskey or something.
If he's taken care of, then that satisfies me.
Okay. What do you guys want to do?
I want to get into this basement when it's time.
Yeah, I just kind of want to linger around until dinner time.
Okay.
So Fawn wakes up.
You're all in relatively close proximity with one another. So, for the sake of, unless there's something pressing, we'll say time passes. Eventually, Fawn, you wake up, you see there's Album, as he said he would, nearby, keeping an eye on you. You feel great. Like, this is the best you've felt in who knows how long. You feel refreshed. You feel guilt-free. You feel like you finally got a night's sleep. You just feel like a sense of energy just burst through you in ways that you've never felt. And at least not no time recently.
Sure. Oh, Album, thank you for staying. I needed that. I could run a marathon.
Not a problem.
I mean, my knees would go out, but I, have the energy.
Yeah, if you have the enthusiasm for it. I bumped into Thomas Manuel while you were napping, spoke with him for a little bit. He didn't remember me. Remember the McAllister building, remembered Abigail, didn't remember the Dorchester house, which I saw him in there once. So he's also looking for his bottle. And he mentioned that the only way to get down there is through the door that all of the bellhops come out of, and you just have to time it. And we're still get, reprimanded, but apparently they don't do anything about it. So
Okay. Yeah, Mark Rourke didn't remember me either when I talked to him out in the lobby.
It's like we're talking to different versions of people or something. I can't quite make heads or tails of it.
I don't understand it, but let's get everyone together and let's get down to that labyrinth.
Sounds good.
Okay. So you guys get together out in the lobby, and you can see that, yeah, there's bellhops and stuff that are lingering around here and there, and there's other people in the lobby. Emmeline's still there. Your private labolus is being tended to by Elmer and some of the bellhops. What do you guys want to do?
We'll wait and see when like bellhops are preoccupied. Just time the entry.
Okay. Roll an alertness. Okay.
5 success.
You keep an eye out.
Alertness. Good.
And yeah, he's very alert to everything but a very obvious man in a shotgun with a shotgun and a gas mask coming after him. Other than that, he's very, very alert. Okay, so you time it. You push the door open, and the four of you escape into the stairs. It's unlocked. There's no kind of sounds or anything go off, but no one seems to notice you, and you kind of clink down some metal stairs. Eventually, you push the door open. Vessel, you've been in these areas before, and you know that this is where the staff tends to live, and you open up the door onto a level of the basement. You start moving up and down the halls, and there's dozens of these small, I mean, they're like filing cabinet-like apartments, these narrow, long, like these long, narrow passageways with these very small apartments here and there, and they're like perfect squares as you move around, and like these hallways. And you can see occasionally there's like doubles where it looks like there's two like very thin apartments that have been, attached together here and there. Others are kind of, twisting kind of in odd ways. When you look, you can see that the ceilings are bowed. Sometimes like they're stained wooden planks, and you can kind of recognize from where you're at the first level of the basement what looks like the underside of the lobby, and you can even see like little dust and stuff kind of rain down on top of you here and there, shakes and booms as there's foot traffic somewhere in the lobby itself. You pass by in the hallways, there's like, outside of some of these apartments, there's people here and there. Some of them are, you might recognize a face or two out of their uniforms, but they're smoking or they're reading a newspaper. But it's always, as you start going by, you start noticing like there's a paper from Vegas, 1930. There's a paper from Virginia, 1930. There's a paper from Maryland, 1930. There's a paper from, Boston, 1930, New York, 1930. All these papers that you're very, very familiar with, like these locations, like places you've been, you've lived, you've traveled to, you've worked at. But all of them are always from like the 30s. Every single one. Not the same year, but somewhere within the decade. You hear dim music. You hear vague sounds of like sex and impropriety, kind of just cascading, even wild parties every now and then, some of them spilling out into the hallway. There's no marks on the doors, though. There's like no signs of room numbers or anything like that. All of it looks very, very bland. And yeah, it's kind of a strange place. So what are we doing down here?
The map you drew, can you map it out?
We can try, and I hand it over to Vessel to get a better look at.
Yeah, you take a look. Okay. Let me pull it up and see. So, okay. You know that you would know from reading this that this map is taking you below the first basement level. You know that the first basement level, you know that Charlie's apartment is somewhere on this level, but you know that if you wanted to get down to wherever this WL is marking, you have to go even further down.
Mm.
Is it evening time or is it like right after lunch?
It certainly feels like evening. I don't know. It's been... not really sure. Time just kind of drifted at some point during the day. It does kind of feel late now that you think about it. Those of you who didn't take naps this afternoon, you're starting to feel a little bit of that kind of late night tiredness start to take over you a bit.
Can we find out where Charlie lives? Or is it?
Sure. I mean, you start wandering around and eventually you stop by. Apartment looks less like every other one, and you're like, this is the one right here. There's like a kind of a wicker chair out front, but you've seen about 7 or 8 of these as you guys have been looping around this large square hallway, but you find one and you're pretty confident that this is Charlie's house. Charlie's apartment is.
Give it a knock to see if he's in.
Yeah.
You knock on the door. You hear some shuffling. Door opens up. And there you see Charlie. Oh, I'm so happy to see you. I wasn't sure if you'd show up. You guys are running a bit late, but that's okay. It's okay. Hard to kind of get your wits about you down here. I guess you like to eat late, do you? No problem. Yeah, so... you brought... I recognize that last right there. He kind of points over to Fawn, because Fawn wasn't in the elevator. I didn't know the 4 of you were together. Well, that's more the merrier. It's so happy to have folks around here. Wonderful. Sure. And let me get you some seats. Gabe wants us to drink more. Oh my God, we have to do a double shot. It's just water, except for where Melissa gave me my vodka.
They're being mean.
Why are they being mean?
Because biohazards.
Oh, they want us to pee or something? Is that it?
Oh.
Hey Gabe, I texted you today, and I didn't get a text back.
Gabriel.
I just wanted to point it out to you. It's been a rough week, buddy, and been going through some pictures, and of our baby girl, and saw one I thought you might get a kick out of. Shot you a text, and silence. But hey, that's fine. That's cool. It's cool. Anyway, back to the game. So as he opens the door and he kind of reaches back in to grab a couple extra like foldable chairs and stuff for you, you guys can see that his apartment is filled front to back with what look like handmade wooden dolls. You did get the text, yeah. I sent him a picture of the sexual Tyrannosaurus card from Alien. We used to play board games. I'm a sexual Tyrannosaurus, Gabriel. But yeah, the room's filled front to back with handmade wooden dolls. Each of them are about 2 feet tall. And he's like, oh yeah, this is a bit of a hobby of mine. You gotta have hobbies, keep the mind occupied, You look at, like, they're all of them fairly roughly carved. They got like movable limbs that seem to be tied together with yarn. And he's got like features that are drawn in with like this ballpoint pen here and there. All of them are hanging from like metal hooks on the wall. Yeah. And you guys recognize some of these. Fawn, do you notice one that got this sort of old man sweater, balding? It looks like
Castaigne?
Looks like Castaigne from 1995 inside the McAllister building. You see one that looks very much like Mark Rourke, very 100%. Vessel, you see one that looks like you. There's one in here that looks like Abigail Wright. Yeah. But yeah, he brings out and he kind of sets down some chairs and he's just how's everybody doing? Yeah, you settling in okay? Everything fine? Getting your feet about you, your wits and what have you?
I've been doing fine. I don't know about them.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Well, you've been here for so long now. You've had a little extra time underneath your belt.
So what do you do with all these puppets?
Oh, just a hobby, just something to do. So it's, just like to, when I'm not on duty, when I'm not moving the elevator up and down, like something to, was it idle hands, devil's workplace or something? Don't want no devil in me.
Wasn't that a quote in that book that we found in the creepy library?
Idle hands with a I think it's just a fairly well known saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that was like a quote specifically in relation to Vessel, and I was like, oh god.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Did you find anything about the bottles?
Oh yeah, you know what they say. You want to get some information, takes a little time. You gotta plant the seeds, move some favors about. No need to rush. Come back tomorrow night. Charlie will probably have some more information. No problem. He doesn't get many visitors at all. So it's very, very nice to have a few people coming on over. But yeah, those will go down to the basements. They come down. They go prepared. Is what I'm saying. Oh, what's that there, Mister? Oh, what did Elmer say your name was? Mr. Lancet. Yeah, that's your name.
What's Elmer's last name?
Elmer. Oh, sure. You want to know Elmer's last name? Oh, yeah, definitely know his last name. It's Elmer Lolset. Kind of sounds almost a little bit like your last name, doesn't it?
Sort of. Do I know that name as a name of a demon by any chance?
Elmer Lolset?
From the Hydromantia, or just even because I have a decent occult skill, so.
1 second.
No, it's like a leger.
Let's see. Nope. You do not. Nope. Yeah, okay. Him and his wife, they got an apartment around here too. I've invited them over for dinner many a time, but they never do. Never take advantage of Charlie's hospitality.
Oh,
how come he's so willing to help people?
Juliet, I think the name is. I don't know. They have a very strange relationship, the two of them. You don't really see it very often. Every now and then, wandering halls. Why does he help her? Well, that's what he's supposed to do, yeah. That's his job. Just like Charlie takes the elevator up, takes the elevator down, finds people their floors. Well, Elmer's got to make sure he's hospitality.
Yeah, but I think you misunderstand. He gets people extra help if they do favors for him. Really interesting requests, I guess.
Oh, it's the same reason. Charlie's willing to do a favor for you. You're going to come give Charlie a favor, too. All Charlie really wants is just you to hang out and, give Charlie a little visit. That's all.
Charlie, have you ever been to the ballroom?
The ballroom?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you asking about that?
Oh, I just was curious about it.
You want to know about the ballroom?
I love dancing.
Well, you're not going to be dancing over there.
Oh,
Puts a hand over on Vessel's shoulder at that point as this kind of conversation shifts over. And kind of looks you like right in the eye, kind of gets a semi-serious look on his face. And he's like, Mr. Miles there, you seen the puppets yet?
Oh, I've seen them plenty, yeah.
But you've seen them here.
Have I? Have you seen yours?
Oh, no, not these. No. Then he points up to the ceiling. And all of you notice that in the ceiling, there are these recessed tracks that seem to run everywhere. Don't worry. They hang from the strings. You'll see them soon. You want to see more of them? Well, you go on down to that ballroom. Plenty of them there, I hear. Just be careful when you go down there. What are they doing there? Well, they're just hanging around. Slapped you on the back really hard.
Charlie, is there something that these puppets want?
That the puppets want? They're puppets. They just sort of do what they're told. Whoever's moving around on strings here and there, whoever controls them, that kind of thing.
So what's for dinner?
Oh. Well, thought you all were gonna bring something down here with you. Isn't that how it works?
We haven't been invited to dinner very often, so I do apologize.
Well, Charlie hasn't had many people over, so we're both in a bit of a predicament. But don't worry, Charlie, scrounging something up, no problem. No problem. Everyone have a seat. Have a seat. So...
Sorry, did we get Charlie's last name?
Oh, you want to know Charlie? Antonucci. Charlie's not my real name, Guido, but everyone calls me Charlie.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, no problem. I'll tell you what, though. A little bit of advice. If that old Elmer, if you ever try to get something out of him, and he tries to get something out of you, if he asks you to get those rats in the walls, you tell him no. Just saying. Used to do that back in the day, but my knees are a bit shot. I'm kind of old. It's not an old man's game. Not just hard on the knees. Hard on other things, too. But Elmer's always looking for them, though, you know. More ratters, you know. If you're looking for a way down to certain places, maybe he can give you a key. I hear there are keys that open every door in this whole place. But Charlie didn't have any of those. But, you know, that's up for you all to decide. Yes, it's all for you to decide.
Who would have keys like that?
I just told you. Elmer's probably the one.
No.
But he ain't gonna give it to you for free, that's for sure.
Everything costs something.
Well, isn't that just the way of the world now? Nothing comes free. I mean, even you all coming over to visit old Charlie for dinner, that apparently wasn't free. Had to promise you something. Had to say, hey, I'll give you some information. That's the only way you all want to be friends with Charlie. Anyhow, you want to go down to that ballroom? Well, you just go down a couple more floors. Go past the laundry. You'll find it, no problem. Just keep looking around. It's a very big room, hard to miss. But you'll be careful down there. Yes, people down there and other things moving around here, there. Not as friendly as Charlie is.
Well, you've given us a lot of information to go off of.
Well, Charlie's very helpful. Very helpful. I tell you what, you come back tomorrow night, Charlie might have even more information for you, too.
I think we're looking to visit a little bit further.
Oh, where you looking to go?
Is there anything keeping watch of the labyrinth?
Oh, well. You might say that, yeah, there's something down there, sure. Charlie don't really know about that too much. You can talk to Dot down the laundry. She might know more. She spends more time down there than I do. I don't really go down there at all, to be honest. Elevator doesn't really go down that far. Just goes down to the lobby. I gotta take the stairs down to come home.
Given us all this information, what else do you want out of it?
Me?
What's in it for you?
Just come on over for dinner tomorrow.
Easy enough.
We'll actually bring food that time, so.
Oh, Charlie really cares more about the conversation than the company.
Oh, you're too sweet, Charlie.
Well, Very kind of you to say. So,
Charlie, when you first... Oh,
go ahead.
So, Charlie, when you first got here, were you looking for a bottle?
I will tell you, I do not remember why I came here, when I came here, for what reason. But, never much had the urge to look for a bottle, that is. Oh, you know what? I think I do have a little something on the burner right now. What? I think Charlie did go ahead and make up some food for you. Kind of wanders back into his apartment at that point, gives you guys a moment. Out in the hall, you hear a clinking, clacketing. He kind of comes out. He has these, like, 4, like, bowls kinked in, one of them's in each one of his forearms. In the crook of his forearms, the other's in his hands. He kind of, oh, here you go, little stool for you.
Oh, this will hit the spot.
Charlie's secret recipe.
Thank you so much for your hospitality.
You are welcome. Happy to do it. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow night, too. Don't forget, I heard you say it. You said you're coming. Yes, you did. And maybe Charlie have a few more pieces of information then. Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay. So, time passes. You eat your stew. And unless you have anything else, at some point you depart. And where do you depart to?
I'm down to head toward the laundry room.
You want to talk to the dots or whatever you said?
Yeah.
Okay. So you gotta wander back around. You find the stairs. And you descend even further. And eventually you open up what seems into, like, there's a landing and then a door that goes right into what appears to be a kind of a single, enormous, low-ceilinged industrial laundry that seems to be filled with all of these in operation washing and drying machines. Album, I need you to go ahead and roll a sand test. Because as you step inside, this place looks almost identical to last time you saw your brother when you were hiding out in the basement of the Dorchester.
Okay. Yeah, I failed 72.
Yeah, go ahead and take 1 point because I know you're adapted helplessness. Take a point of helplessness. But yeah, you look around and you can see that there are, bellhops, other personnel here and there. A lot of them you see are stripped to the waist. It's because it's very, very hot in here, and they're kind of trudging place to place here and there. It's very, very noisy in here. There's just all these machines kind of churning and rumbling and going here and there. A few of them look up at you and they kind of give you a dirty look at first, but then they just kind of move on with their lives and they don't really care too much. They seem to kind of be moving about, have their own problems here and there. But yeah, when you look around, you can see that there's a kind of open area, not occupied by these machines. It looks like this bleach-stained antique burgundy rug that's kind of like an impromptu landing pad for what looks like laundry dropping from a chute in the ceiling. Nearby that, there's like a punch card clock. You can see there's a fairly big laundry pile kind of pushed off to the side from where that chute is in the ceiling. Yeah, and you see some people kind of moving about here and there.
Is there like a woman nearby?
Roll a luck test. Yeah, you do see that there is a woman that's dressed in what looks like a very full, very sweat-stained bellhop outfit. And she seems to be silently gathering all sorts of piles of laundry coming over to that big pile by that burgundy rug, picking some stuff up. kind of moving on over, separating it, throwing it into the into different carts here and there. As you're watching her, you can see that, you know, as she's doing this sort of separation, you notice that there's laundry of, you know, sheets and clothes and things like that, but then there's these other bits that she's getting near that big pile, and it looks like she's like hanging some of them up on these wooden hangers on the wall here and there. And as she does so, you notice they look like costumes. Very, very familiar costumes, in fact, Fawn. Bellhops and the like that you have a vague memory of in the Samogina household, yeah.
Can we approach her?
Yeah. Are you Dots? Or do you know Dots?
She looks over and she says, "Yeah, I'm Dot. I don't think you all are supposed to be here, though."
Oh, Charlie told us about you. Or no.
That sounds like something Charlie would do, but despite that, you're really not supposed to be here, but that's fine and all good. Sure.
Oh, we're okay if we get reprimanded later, but tell us a little about the labyrinth we're going to.
Labyrinth?
The ballroom?
Ballroom.
Yeah, we were having dinner with Charlie, and I heard that there's a ballroom, but for some reason it's in the basement.
Basements go on quite a bit.
Yeah, we're trying to get to the labyrinth, and when I asked about if anyone's there or what is there, he said you know better.
Well, that's some things Charlie shouldn't have said.
Oh, we don't want to get Charlie in trouble or anything.
Well, if you want to go further down, well, I haven't been all the way down. It's 10 floors or so. Sure. The whole while she's like still doing her work. It's like you guys are really like kind of getting in the way here, and she's constantly having to push past you, kind of move over to the pile and stuff here and there.
Could I like help hand her things or help out or?
Sure, yeah. You kind of go over and you start getting into the pile itself. You start handing her some things. You notice that the stuff you start handing to her from the big old pile, it's mostly modern clothing. Mm-hmm. You see a lot of t-shirts of bands and like video games. And all of them seem to be kind of circa 2015. Mm-hmm. There's some sheets. Some of them are blood stains. There's these kind of strange items and stuff here and there. You see like a couple of costumes. Some of them bellhops, a businessman, a gangster. You see these like full size, like, you know, almost like a full person size, but the buttons and collars are just flat representations. They're not actually functional. Sort of like a stage show. As you're picking up and moving them, Fawn, you're watching, you're like, you saw those exact same costumes inside Samogina's household. Like the exact same things inside of her sewing kit, or sewing area.
Can I ask her, can I ask Dot, like, oh, do you know the woman that made those?
Not personally.
They came from Esther, though, right?
If that's her name.
Is she, like, purposely being...
She's working. And so, like, you guys, okay. 4 people who just know, strangers, you're not supposed to be here, kind of getting her away while she's working. You're asking her questions. She's answering them. She's just not being particularly elaborative about it all. Okay. What's your alertness at, Fawn?
40.
When you mention, like, when you ask, like, who's doing this, you see her eyes just sort of look up towards the chute in the ceiling.
There's no like marionette currently in like the tracks in this room, is there?
Nope.
But Bessel and I saw a laundry chute in the San Magina house.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
So I'm gonna like.
I saw somebody with a bellhop outfit at the bottom.
Elbow nudge Vessel and point up to the chute.
Yeah, I'll make that connection. I get what you're saying.
And what happened? I'm trying to remember when we looked down the laundry chute in the San Magina house. Did we drop something down there?
Yeah, I think you dropped a little note with like, question like, who are you? Something like that, if I recall correctly, something like that.
So while she's working, can I try to meander over to where the chute drops down?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, you look up. It's very narrow, so you don't think you can climb it or anything like that. But if you look up, you notice that about 5 stories up, you can see there's a shadowed face that's peering down. And as you kind of look up and your eyes adjust to the darkness, you see yourself.
No.
Shouting down something that you can't hear because the noise in the area of the machines, there's just kind of drowning out exactly what you said, but you remember what you said. And then that's when a crinkled piece of paper falls down and kind of bounces off your shoulder a couple feet away. Pick it up, unfold it, and it's your handwriting. Same message you wrote to yourself. Go ahead and roll a sand test.
Yeah. That's a fail.
Roll a d4.
Oh.
Take 1 point from the unnatural.
All right.
And you look back up. A couple moments later, no one's up there.
So Fawn's gonna go over to Vessel and share like that was me. That was me when I just saw and I that's my note.
All right. Sounds crazy, but
that's what
makes sense in some way.
So she wants to keep looking up because when we were up there, everything caught on fire.
Yeah, you keep looking up, but you don't notice anything like that. But it's just sort of becomes like this faded shadow up there after a while as you just stare for a bit.
Okay.
So with Chelsea kind of helping and then like you two kind of poking around, Album, what are you doing?
So this washer dryer room, is it the same? Does this also look the same as the Dorchesters?
Yeah, it's bigger though. It's almost like you only saw a portion of it. This just seems to extend even further. But yeah, it looks very similar. Looks almost identical. Same machines, same brand, whatever they are, same layout, stacked upon each other. You don't see your brother anywhere though.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what things I did in the Dorchester house that I could check on here.
Yeah, you see one. I should say you see one. In addition to like the staircase area, there's like another hallway, like an L-shaped hallway that seems to extend outward from the laundry as well. Other than that, you don't see any, modes of egress.
When I peer down this other hallway, how far can I see, and do I see anything?
Yeah, so it's like L-shaped. You can see it doesn't go that far. Like there's enough light that you can see the corner and it kind of turns off what looks like to the right. You periodically kind of hear sort of like the sudden clanking of sounds of something, almost like almost like dishes being moved about, pots being moved about, and then it kind of dissipates and then like you wait a couple seconds, and then a minute or two, and then it kind of pops up again. Like that's all you hear. You don't see anything because like the recess of the hallway kind of blocks wherever the noise is coming from.
Album will ask Dot, what's down this hallway I'm looking down?
She looks at you. Kitchen. Goes back to sorting the laundry.
If I'm following this Broadalbin map correctly, I think we have to go down that hallway. Or if I'm imagining this correctly.
I would say don't use that as an accurate map. It's more of an abstract sort of depiction of it, just so you know. Like the general idea of like levels is probably accurate, but don't worry about like the left to the rights and stuff being too accurate.
Okay.
Yeah. Doesn't mean you can't go down it. I'm just saying I don't want you to make decisions for the wrong reasons. So what are you doing? And Ashley, what are you doing? I know what Long and I know what Melissa are doing.
I'm kind of looking to see if I can find anything in the clothes.
Other than what I've already told you.
No. Okay.
Nope, only what I've told you already.
Which way is it about towards the basement or the ballroom?
She's just like like this really like exaggerated sigh. It's down. Everything's down. You don't want to go there. Y'all should just get out of here while you can. This ain't a good place. You stay here too long, you're just sort of trapped here forever, like me.
When did you get here, Dot?
It doesn't matter. Why does that matter? Why is that information that matters?
That was just friendly conversation.
Yeah.
Dot, if you give us your last name, we could try and find your bottle while we're looking for ours.
The name's Dorothy Harris. But folks, call me Dot. And if you all want to find whatever bottles everybody's rushing down there to find, well then you all go right ahead. I don't know how to find them. Plenty of tunnels down here. But the basement goes down a ways. Ballroom's down the basement. Tunnels are below the basements. I gotta get going now. No one pays me to talk to anybody. I do the laundry, and I deliver the laundry. That's what I do every day.
Album will take out one of his tokens and hold it out to her and say, does this help you in any way or make it less miserable for you?
Those are for residents.
Right. And I
Not a
can gift it
resident.
to you? So I can't gift it to you.
No.
I'm
but
staff.
I'll give her $10.
She looks at it. That don't do nothing for me.
No?
No.
What do you need then, Dot?
I need you to get out of my way. 'Cause I need to push this bin that way. And I need to take it downstairs. Could you do that for me?
Yeah.
Could you get out of my fucking way?
Alright, we're out of here.
Yeah, she's already out of the way.
Okay. And so you just see her kind of just plod off, and she starts going downstairs. What do you guys want to do?
We could go deeper until we run into an obstacle.
Okay, you're just gonna go down, or are you gonna try to follow her, or are you just going down
No, we're
like
not following
independent
her.
of her? Okay.
Yeah, we're just gonna split ways.
Okay. Yeah, you go down a flight of stairs. You see the swinging door. You can see that, like, as you're going down, you catch the tail end of Dot kind of pushing through what looks like the door of the next landing. Do you keep going, or do you kind of get out in the same level?
I want to do my best to follow this map that was drawn. Like, look for this labyrinth or bottle.
Okay. So
I think we need to go down 2 levels.
Okay.
So we went down 1, so now we need to go down 1 more, I think.
All right. So you go down 1 more level. Door opens up. You can see it's got, these dusty hallways here and there. Yeah, you just get this feeling as you're meandering through these hallways with these flickering light bulbs, these rooms that just seem to kind of go on forever, these loops of passages and alcoves, these empty rooms that you passed here and there. You got these dust-covered music halls, all sorts of You get this strange feeling that, you're being watched. And then you hear the sound of kind of sloshing water, kind of a drip, drip. And you hear it kind of coming through a door that's partly creased open. And when you push the door open ever so slightly and it just kind of swings, you see there's this oversized wash tub. You see this water just kind of covering this wooden floor, soaking into it. And you see a person you recognize is Asa Darabandi, having just pulled back from the bathtub. And you see a small body of a child floating in the water. And that's where we're going to end for tonight, on that happy image.
God damn it.
Go ahead and say your goddamn it's and talk amongst each other. I have to switch out my earbuds. So talk amongst yourselves on that little image.
I think that is Isabella.
Oh, he killed like 30 kids.
Singer, I think. Oh.
He straight up killed like 30 kids.
Okay, we're going to end there. I think we've gotten far enough where I feel comfortable that we're going to get done with this next week. That was a long session, but we're trying to finish up part 3 before we get into our Christmas, New Year's break that we're in. So we're just trying to tie it down. So long session, but we got a lot done. We went a lot of places, met a lot of people. You guys might want to start digging through your notes some more. There's a lot of little references that are kind of popping up back and then. Things like I was saying earlier in the campaign, there's things that there's information you're getting that's important, but you don't necessarily have the context yet to sort of fully understand it. And it's interesting how it's circular in a way. Certain things are coming back and becoming more important here and there. But let's don't forget to roll for the skills that you failed. If you did any, we didn't have a ton of rolling tonight, but if you did, you can go ahead and do it. But let's do some close and plugs. Ashley, actually, let's start with Melissa because that makes more sense calendar-wise. Melissa, what are we playing tomorrow early in the day, and where are we?
Forbidden Lands on Defenders of Kobold at 1 p.m. CST.
1 p.m. CST is correct. Yeah, that's right.
Time zones and daylight saving.
Yeah. Then middle of the day tomorrow, back on this channel, we'll be playing One Ring. You can catch me and Melissa, Ashley Long playing in that. We'll be, I think we're starting at, I want to say 5 Central is the time that we'll kick that off, a little bit earlier in the day than our Delta Green stream. And then tomorrow night, Ashley, what are we playing tomorrow night?
We're playing The Darkest House on Defenders of Kobold with Steven the DM.
Yeah, that jerk.
At, what is it, 8 or 9 p.m. Central?
9 p.m. Central. 9 p.m.
Central.
Yeah, and then next week on Monday, we'll be back to UVG on our own channel. Thursday over on Garblag Games, we'll be doing Delta Green Viscid, and then come back next Friday for the finale of Part 3 of Impossible Landscapes. I can say that with confidence that we've gotten far enough in our exploration of the hotel where I'm pretty sure we can be done next week. So unless something pops up, that's our plan. But thanks everyone for hanging out. Thanks for those of you who donated bits. Legumes to the Victor, thank you so much for the gift subs that you threw out and for joining us. We really do appreciate seeing some new folks there. But we're going to go ahead and raid one of our friends, Defenders, who we play on a lot. So we're going to go ahead and give them a raid. They're playing some Shadowrun. They're doing a fancy little experiment where they're using Shadowrun, but they're also using the Year Zero engine from Free League. So we kind of like that game too. So hang tight. Follow the raid with us, and we'll catch you next time. So good night, everybody. Bye-bye.